Hey, welcome.
Right here.
So let us know how the sound sounds because we got a different microphone on. I've got to kind of boost it up. We didn't want to be too super loud here. I guess we can move the camera a little bit closer to us. We're up on the 10th floor of the Tahiti Resort on Las Vegas Boulevard. And that's what that picture was out there. Now, what the heck you doing in
I
there?
guess it came on. So I had to turn it down.
Doing some crazy stuff with her phone here.
I didn't realize I
All
had to
right,
turn
let
it
me
down
see
yet.
what
I guess it came on. So I had to turn it down.
crazy stuff. All right, so we are live. And
In Las Vegas, Nevada.
only have three in, probably all three of them is our phones. So Neil's in the house,
I saw
Candace and Rowan. So I don't know if they're all still there.
It's a little chilly up here in this room.
Yep, there's not a
Mike's
lot of
on.
heat.
Hey, Mike.
And
Jimmy-o.
not a whole lot going on yet. We got here yesterday, middle of the day. You've seen the video that we went over to Red Rock Harley Davidson and checked out all those new bikes. And we'll talk about those in just a little bit. We had another video that we took over at Henderson Harley, but the microphones were messed
No
up.
audio.
Yeah, so that didn't happen, and we didn't get back over there today. So the only thing that Red Rock didn't have that they had over at Henderson was a Heritage.
Thank you.
And it was kind of cool. So we might go back over there and film that. I think they're open tomorrow on Monday.
Red Killeron said, congratulations on the 10 million.
There you go. You got a lot. That's a lot of work.
He does it all.
And
Skippy's on. Hey, Skippy. Big Ben.
so that was kind of cool. This morning
Okay.
we went over to South Point, and that's going to be the video tomorrow. They're already unloading bikes. And so we got some shots of the trucks, got some bikes sitting there, got some of that. Went inside, kind of showed you a little bit about what they're setting up the floor. We can't really get in. There's nobody that we have contacts with that are here yet. It's
These are
mainly
all just the security for South Point
Yeah.
Casino.
and then the
And
guys
they won't let anybody
yeah,
in.
and the guys that are driving the trucks, they're there and they're pushing the bikes in and out. So we don't really have any access to it at this point. And we may write them tomorrow morning and see if we can get access in there as they're setting stuff up. That'd be kind of neat to show you that. We did make it over to Las Vegas Harley Davidson because we were talking about that custom bike show they're going to have on the 1st. So you'll get all that information. If everything works out right tonight, that'll be tomorrow afternoon's video that's going to come up. Internet here really sucks and it's slow. And I don't want to waste any of my hotspot because once it all starts, I may need that hotspot to be able to do some stuff, to get videos up. So right now I'm trying to keep the videos probably 8 to 12 to 15 minutes long. Not going to be anything really too long. We may do some lives probably from the show.
Quite sure.
So we'll see what all happens. There's a lot of you that are coming. You guys have been telling us that you're coming.
Yep.
We do have some free tickets to get in, daily tickets. We also have an access to get more of those if we got people that want to come in and just kind of want to see the show and don't want to bid or anything like that, because they're not bidding passes to get in. They're just general admission.
Viewing passes.
Yeah. So
So when does the auction start? Wednesday or Thursday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Wednesday at 8 a.m.
Sam Biker wanted to know.
The doors open. And then at 10 o'clock Pacific time, the auction will start, and it goes to about 5 o'clock every day, and it kind of ends.
4 or 5.
They kind of wrap it up. So it's all day Wednesday, all day Thursday, all day Friday, and Saturday just depends on what they still have left, how it turns out. Last year, the Saturday was really busy to where normally on Saturday it kind of peters out, and I think there's more people bidding from home. So just to let you know, we could get some passes to get you in if you're interested. You guys got to get a hold of us, and we have to meet you at South
Right
Point.
outside the door.
Yeah, and get you in the door.
Well, you'll probably have to, with those passes, you'll probably have to go to the will call or the box
Probably.
office
And turn
and
it
get
in.
a badge,
Yeah.
and then so you can get in.
Just as you're a guest.
Jerry's on.
And
How's
so
everything going?
So everything's going kind of good. The weather's so we haven't got any rain. California's getting rain and snow. It's still not too bad. You can't really see because it's just kind of the glare off the light, the window here. It's a little cool to sit outside. It's about, I don't know what it is, probably 52, 53 degrees right now. Today we were out a little bit. Went to Denny's and ate this morning, and we went over to the mall, and she forgot to pack me some regular shirts that don't say Bob and Tams on it. I had two heavy shirts that I kind of
They're
pulled out
like,
of the
kind of like
closet
sweatshirts.
that I've been wearing. I wore them at home, and I'm like, bring those along since it's gonna be a little cooler. It's about 10 degrees cooler here than
And it
90
is.
miles down the road where we live
It
at.
says it's 52 right now. I don't know if I buy that.
I'd say it is.
Feels like 49. There
Yeah.
you go.
But it's not too windy. The strip out here, the Las Vegas Strip, is tons of people. I can't believe for a Sunday how freaking crowded it is. It is just insane. I don't know what to say. I don't have any answer for why. Because typically on Sunday, that's like here. They've got a big parking garage here that we can use, or we can park by the towers that they have here. And so we've, when we got here last night, we had a tough time. We got a spot. We went out. I guess we went out to get something to eat, and then when we came back, we couldn't hardly find a spot. And we didn't have to park in the tower. So on the way back today, we got here about an hour ago, came back, and there was a few. Yeah, we actually found a spot. It was right up front, so we must have left, and we got right in there. So we ain't leaving no more tonight. We're done.
Jeffy's on, and we
There you
missed
go.
you too. We were just saying, Jeff hasn't been on in a while.
Well, we haven't done a whole lot of live, so that might be a reason we haven't seen Jeff for a while. Because we skipped last weekend, and because we didn't really have a whole lot to say. And so we're getting really ready to do the Mecum auction. That's our next big thing that's coming up here. And most of the videos, so what I've done is I've switched to a different company that's helping with these thumbnails you see in titles. And so far they're really working out good. That one video that was about Sturgis, it's got like 37,000 views, and I can't ask enough for that. And it really helped out this month's money-wise. Gave a little extra. We're actually ahead of what last month was, which kind of was my worst month for the year. That's usually happens because we just don't have enough content, and we don't have a lot of videos. We're not putting them out consecutively, which is what YouTube likes.
The algorithms.
And some people say it was clickbait. I say it wasn't clickbait. And most people, if you watch the whole video, you all said the same thing. It was a great video. It was a lot of information. It was stuff that kind of told you a lot about Sturgis. But I mean, there's a lot of articles coming out. I just seen another one yesterday that came out that was written in October by some Psycho magazine. That was it kind of said all the same things we did. Talked about the business agent that they had before and the money they were spending and all this kind of crazy stuff. And a lot of people said I think a lot of people didn't even watch the videos. I had a lot of people saying it was clickbait. I had a whole bunch of different stuff coming up.
Well, he gets that every once in a while. He'll put something up, and they just look at the thumbnail, and then they just write all these crazy comments.
The bigger the video, the more the people watch it, the more you're going to get. We call them trolls that come on. And most of them don't. Like I had a guy the other day that when I did one of the shorts, and he said, I was just so irritating. Why would I ever have a YouTube channel? So I wrote back and said, thank you. For one, thanks for watching. And two, I wrote, I got 28,000 plus people that think we do a pretty good job. And I said, now we've got close to 10 sponsors now that are actually paying us cash to get to the rallies. So apparently we must be doing something right. Well, and of course, this bozo doesn't even write me back. The comment's still there. If you go back and look at it, I clicked on, because a lot of times I like to click on it and see if they got a YouTube channel. Because sometimes I'm not in practice of going after these trolls, because we don't get a lot of them on our channel anymore, compared to what I used to get. I used to get a lot, to where sometimes I would say, why don't you get a YouTube channel so I can watch your channel and we'll see how much better you can do than we can do. So I don't, it doesn't really bother me. But I do see it on different videos, and I'm doing some shorts and stuff. We're putting some stuff on TikTok, and we're putting some stuff on X, and or is that the same thing? No. Yeah, TikTok's one they're trying to get rid of. So I got a video.
X is what used to be Twitter.
Yeah, so it's the same video on both of them. So we've been trying to put some stuff on there. I got this thing that it'll make shorts for you. And I don't really have the time right now to figure out with the new editing system that we switched over to. It's that you can really make a really nice shorts, because you can sync it up to where we're in the middle. Like if you watch the shorts, it's on either one of those two extra formats. It's not centered, and they don't do a very good job, which I'm not paying anything for that, so it's not that big a deal to me. But so we got a big lots of saying there.
Neil says the people whining about clickbait were just whining. They wanted to stay up all from their time. What was important to spend a half hour.
Yeah, like I say,
he says they need a life.
Yeah, and it's. Like I say, I'm also on a video chat group that it's most of them are more not younger, but younger channels that they're just starting. They got a couple hundred subscribers and stuff, and some people, and so I write on that a lot. And when people ask for advice and stuff, I kind of get on there and talk about it and tell them stuff. And somebody wrote that the other day and said, I got a small channel, and it's kind of I don't know if it was a health channel, if it was a religious channel, but she was getting some people saying stuff to her. And then that's kind of what I said. Yeah, I said, if you don't have thick skin, You probably shouldn't do a social media channel because you're always going to get these clowns that come on, and sometimes it's foreigners. I got a couple businesses that keep coming up and saying, "Oh, great video," and I can see the name of it, and it's a business. And same thing. I don't really respond to them. I just write thanks for watching, because I do read everybody's comment. Everybody that writes a comment, I do read the full comment. If you ask a question, I kind of come back with a reply. But if you just kind of say, "Hey, it was a really great video. It was great seeing you guys," I usually just write thanks for watching or just thanks. So I do answer everybody's comment. And then if you've got a question, or sometimes we just had one the other day about Dark Horse, want to know something about a compensator, about a bolt that came in, I don't know that right off. Well, we can contact Dark Horse. She sends them a text real quick. They come back with their answer. I just copy it and I put it right back on there. So you're getting the right answer for whoever it is. And that's kind of cool.
Just like you, Jeff.
We try to give out really good information to you guys, and that's what we're all about. Most of you that are on channel know that that's what we do. And so that's kind of a little bit on that. So you're going to start seeing right now, we got Camp Easy Ride signed up again. So if you watch that video today, you've seen their logo on the video. And you might be wondering, why is it on there? Well, they took our most expensive sponsorship, and he's the only one that's got that. Everybody else is gone the in between. And they're kind of linked. The way they're listed when they roll up at the end of the screen is kind of how they paid us. So that kind of tells you, but I mean, it doesn't make any difference. Even if somebody gives us $1,000, it's better. And our most expensive one, I think, is like $3,500. So it's not that much money, but we didn't have any, or it's $2,500, I guess is what the highest one is. Because the idea was, I was trying to sit down and figure out what the hotels were going to cost us and the airplane. So that way we could have enough money to do all that. And luckily we got Hall Bikes to jump on board. Now they're not giving us any money at this moment. We're going to sit down and talk to them when they get here, but they are hauling my bike. So that's a $1,200 travel from there to Daytona, and then picking it up in Myrtle and bringing it back to Sturgis. So that'll be, so they comped us for that for last year's video. So this year we're going to do a lot better. We brought the lights and everything else. We're going to set it all up and do a really good job. Yeah, the little pickup truck was full. Well, somebody brought almost 3 suitcases of stuff. That's you.
And one suitcase is yours. One suitcase was the bathroom stuff, and half of that's yours. And one suitcase was food.
I have one little bag with stuff in it. And the rest of it is probably not my stuff.
Toothbrushes and toothpaste and.
She uses the same toothpaste. We use the same toothbrush. It's different ends. Like your toothbrush.
We each have our own head.
Well, if one of us had germs and the other one didn't want it, it's a little late now. So
we both probably have the same germs.
Used to be when we were younger and we were in high school, we passed the cold around for like 6 months or 8 months. We went to the doctor, started going to the same doctor, and they're like, "You guys got to separate for a while. You keep coming back with the same thing that the other one had last time he was here."
I know.
So it's pretty exciting.
Steven?
We ended up talking to Henderson Harley about getting some bikes for bike build for vets. That's still going. I need to put got some new business cards. You got one on you?
Yeah.
We'll show you a new business card. And then on the back, it's got a barcode where you can scan it with your phone and it'll take you right to the website. So it's kind of cool. And I think we've got about $250 right now that we've gotten donated between 3 people. So we're always looking for some more money. Right now, we don't have enough to buy a bike. And so we're looking. We do have a bike. We're not going to be there, but here's something you can all think about. We have a little bit older Softail bike that we're going to give away. It's a used bike. It's going to get custom painted, and we're going to give it away. But we're going to give it away to a veteran.
I thought he said he wanted a Marine.
Well,
because I don't know. You have to get the details.
Okay, but the idea, what we want is, we're going to want you to write a letter or an email telling us why this person deserves to get this bike. They do need to come down to Eureka Springs and pick it up. So here's a new business card.
It's a little clearer.
Better.
Yeah.
And then you can scan this. There you go. can scan that and take you right to the new website. So I'm kind of neat. They get them all black and glossy. And we paid for that out of the Bob and Tam's money. So far, everything, that's what we're doing. The phones cost us $100 a month, which I can't really believe. I think.
Well, I think what they told us and what they're billing us was two different things. So Stephen Blackshear wants to know if we've ever stayed at Pappy Oil.
No. There's a lot of campgrounds we never stayed at. We know all about Pappy Hoyles. There's nothing wrong with Pappy Hoyles. One of the nice thing about Pappy Hoyle is they got the big giant Olympic-sized swimming pool. We've been in the bathrooms and stuff. They're okay. But I mean, it's out in the sun. But most of the campgrounds that have hookups are going to be out in the sun. You do get, by staying at Pappy Hoyles, you automatically get VIP, not VIP, but you don't have to pay to see any of the concerts, which over at the Buffalo Chip, if you get there before 4 or 5 or 6, I think it's 6 o'clock, you don't pay anyway. But that way you can come and go.
Throttle.
You can come and go to the full throttle. You got your wristbands will get you in. Can't see it. Your wristband will get you into Pappy Hoyle and then get you also over to Full Throttle Saloon. When they, like, say you want to go over there like 9 o'clock right before the concert start, you'll be able to get in and get over there. So that's kind of, and Jesse's a great guy. Jesse and his wife Penny are the ones that run the campground, and they are great people. I have nothing. We've never really talked to them about staying there. We actually had passes last year, which we ended up never giving away. There were just 10 spots that we won at the Daytona Rolling Thunder that they have, and we won
Daytona.
Yeah, but it was Rolling Daytona one. They have them for almost all the different rallies they have them for. And then so we won that, and we wanted to give it to somebody, but a lot of people wanted an RV spot. Well, I said, you have to send me the money. I'm not paying $700 for a camping site and then find out when you get there, I don't have $700. So nobody ever sent us any money.
Or you decided, we decided not to come.
Yeah. So we ended up just taking the bracelets and putting them on and being able to walk in and out and do whatever we wanted. So it was we spent a little more time at Full Throttle last year than we normally do.
So Chad says Justin Aldean with the Buffalo Chip is pretty cool.
Yeah. So that's one of their announcements that we just had last week. And
I'll send it to you, Neil. It's our website. I think it's here. Let me see the banners. The website for it, I think, is
about the vets.
Yeah.
He forgot to scan it.
Well, he said he can't scan it. He's on his phone.
Oh, well, just go to it's Bike Builds 4, the letter 4.
No, I thought we had
vets.com. So we'll show you the card again.
Or screenshot it. No, turn it on.
It's really blurry. And written, you don't have it written in the.
I thought so, but I'm looking. I don't see
You
it.
can put a new one down. And so she'll put that up in a minute since she gets it all typed up and stuff like that. So we're trying to get that all going. And so we've been kind of talking. Right now, the sad thing is people are buying bikes, but they're bringing in some pretty nice bikes for trade-in. So they're not really at this moment not willing to give us something nice yet, but they might be. We never know. So we've only talked to 2 dealers so far. We've got a couple other dealers. Well, we want to talk to Hall Bikes and see if they'll pick bikes up for us, because we have a lot of great dealerships. Pig Trail's another one. The Wilkins up there in Vermont, there's another good dealership that we've got a good relationship. Black Hills Harley, the Sonic Group. After we talk to them, maybe they got a lot of different dealers. Maybe we can get some from them. Our dealership owns a lot of different dealerships, but we have to talk to each management group to get it, because each dealership runs on its own. So we're going to go out and talk to them here soon. Maybe we'll get back. We'll see if we have time. We only have about 3 weeks. Once we get back from this trip, we only got 3 weeks before we get on an airplane. Probably not even 3 weeks. Get on an airplane, we have to fly to Daytona. So things that we're going to understand. What are you trying to do?
I typed it in, but it doesn't say save or anything.
Okay.
The only thing that says is end. And if I do that, then the video's going to be over.
Add a banner.
Wait, that was not up there a second ago.
I pulled it down. I had to go up.
I did. I went up and down.
There you go, Neil. Type that in, and that will take you to our veteran site. Now, I made it. So it's nothing fancy. The pictures that are on there are all pictures I got off the internet. They were AI generated. So there's nothing that we don't have any veteran pictures or stuff. Now we are going to do this year. We're going to try to do it in Daytona. If we can get enough people, we want to get a bunch of veterans. And Tam's going to write a script that we want everybody to read this script. And what we're going to do is make a commercial that we'll put on here, and we'll put on some other sites and stuff like that. That is going to actually, as a veteran, you're going to ask people for donation bikes to give to us. And what we're going to do is just do it to where maybe I'll have 10 or 15 people talking, or 20 people, and it'll be like 3 or 5 seconds of them talking, and it just keeps going to, and we've seen some of that, and they're kind of cool. And so we're going to do that. And what we're doing is asking people, if you've got that bike sitting in the shed, or you got a bike in the garage, you don't ride anymore. And the only thing is, if we go through haul bikes, the tires have to be aired up. They will not haul a bike that has flat tires. So that's the only downgrade if we use them to bring our bikes. That saves me from going out or having to pay to have a bike brought in. So if they're close by, if they're within the states here, or like I say, we're up in Sturgis and we're bringing the trailer, maybe we can bring one back if I don't take my chopper. We may take that to Sturgis, since I'm not going to make it to Daytona. There's not going to be enough time to get the cylinders off and get them shipped away.
You're not going to have time before
No,
we
probably
go
not.
to Sturgis either.
Probably not. So I don't know. Maybe I'll talk to Speeds, but I don't know if I can talk to somebody there that can actually do them while we bring the bike. And I don't know if Speeds has still got their shop,
Oh,
and have them pull the cylinders off and do it for me. That would save me a lot of time. And but I wanted to do it, so you could do that. I've been working on the ATVs. I got those 2 running. The other one we finally got the carburetor for. And then we just, these last 2 days we did a lot of running around before we got here. And there we are. So what we got going on is Meekum starts on Wednesday. It'll go to Saturday. Saturday, we also have the Las Vegas is having a custom bike show, and you're going to see that tomorrow sometime. It should come out around noontime. And you can see that, and it talks about that. And then we don't have anything to do Sunday and Monday. And I think, is it Tuesday?
it starts Tuesday.
Yeah. Tuesday through Friday is going to be the AIM,
Expo.
and that's all about motorcycle stuff.
I've been to that before.
Yeah, never been to that. Be first time. We actually have one of our subscribers are coming, isn't it? Spokes and Bones or somebody's coming. Somebody told you they were coming.
Brews, coffee, baggers and coffee and
Oh,
baggers.
somebody's coming. If it's not them, it's somebody.
James and Anita.
Yeah. So they're
Remember the
coming.
name of their-
And so we'll
They said it was awesome. You can see an awesome sunset here from up here.
yeah.
Getting
I don't know
close.
if you can. Yeah, it's still, the clouds are kind of cutting it down, so it's just really bright behind us. She wanted to sit in front of this because she thought she'd have the sun be a little warmer. It's like 72 in here. They got Las Vegas is, it's like where we live. It doesn't really get that cold. It might get down to 35 or 30 at night, but within an hour it goes right back up. So it's not, you're not going to see a 35-degree day here. Almost not possible.
Uh-oh.
So what they do is they have the heaters they have here run off the water heater. So it's like our place that we have, it blows cold air out. I finally pushed it up today to 80 just to see if it would heat up any. And I don't think it's moved
Well, then when
anything.
it comes on, it goes. Like
And
somebody's
so
gonna burst
I
through the
finally
window.
turned it up because what it was doing, I think, was turning the air on
Hmm.
at 72, and it was keeping it cooler. And so then at night, she hardly couldn't breathe. So I went and pushed it up some so it wouldn't come on. And so today I decided I'm going to crank that sucker up and we'll see if it'll warm up for us for this evening. Or we haven't get another blankie out from the closet there.
There's
My
an
feet were
extra
cold.
one.
And because we don't have a full
And we got
membership.
that new
here.
bed, and I'm really spoiled with that new bed because this bed is not very comfortable.
So we got a therapeutic bed, one of those ones that move up and down and do all that kind of crazy stuff. It vibrates. It got a night light at night when you're walking around. It's got it all lit up underneath so you don't kill yourself. And the only bad thing is we've always slept together. We're somebody
Now
that
there's a hole.
they're twins that are put together. And so that's really weird for
Somebody's
us.
always stuck in the hole.
So we're going to end up bunging it together, I think.
We'll figure out something. I think I got a plan in my head.
Well, she wanted to buy Velcro to go around that bed. It cost me $1,000 in Velcro to wrap this damn bed into that. I said, well,
Because I wanted a thick piece.
we found now that they've got a thing on Amazon. I think it's $50.
25.
And you can order, and it's like a big sheet, the kind of material that goes all the way around it. Because we can't have one go around the outside of the bed because they go up together differently.
I can move mine and he can move his. So
So
anyway, we're spoiled and this bed is not comfortable.
I'm not as big a pecky with the bed as she is. She's just moves it all up and down, and I put my head up a little bit, but other than that, this isn't that big a deal. But when we're watching TV,
Can't.
yes. So
Duct tape. Duct tape works for everything. Well, see, I have fibromyalgia, so I feel every little, like, do you ever remember the story, The Princess and the Pea, and she was on 20 mattresses and could feel the pea under the bed? I feel like I'm kind of like that, not saying I'm a princess at any means, but I can feel just the littlest thing and it bugs me. So that's why if we put something around the bed, it has to be in the middle, but it has to be something I can't feel. And it can't be under the sheets because they're two separate
twins, yeah.
sheets.
So that's go over the sheets.
Yeah. It's a mess. But we'll figure it out.
So then after that,
Piece of foam and tape.
that's over on Friday. Now they have another event that's going on here starting Thursday, Friday.
Hey, Art.
Maybe it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They're doing at the Western Casino downtown. They're having another motorcycle event where there's going to be stunt shows and all this stuff. Well, we found out through, I guess she didn't find out. I found out when I was reading the article about AIM. They're going to let us in on Thursday night, a special show for everybody that at the convention gets to go for free and check it out the night before.
Do you all know what else is Thursday night? That industry party.
Well,
I think.
I don't know. I think that was Wednesday night.
I don't know. We'll have to see.
And so we'll check that out because before they want to charge you $25, and for us to go in and film something for an hour isn't worth $50 for us to go film it. So that might be something else we're going to add. And so from here we have we're supposed to be in California on that next Saturday, which will be the second weekend must be the 7th or the 8th or something like that. Yeah, so it's the 1st, so it must be the 7th because the 1st is Saturday this week coming up. So it'd be the 7th. So the 7th and the 8th and the 9th. So it's Saturday night and Sunday night. We will be in Ventura. And Sunday is when the
David
band Chopper Show is, Chopper Fest.
Pepper Fest.
So I'm really excited about that. It doesn't look like the fire is going to affect them. So there shouldn't be any cancellation.
Because it got canceled a couple years ago
because it rained. It was going to rain the whole weekend and they just decided they were going to pull the plug on it. But I think it's Super Bowl weekend. Isn't the 8th? Isn't that Super Bowl on the 8th?
Probably.
We're not big Super Bowl people, but I don't even know.
Spokes and bone, whatever.
Put a video up.
Yeah.
So I don't know how well you can see us or not. Now the sun's starting to peek out. And maybe when the sun gets really low, I'll go out the door here and show you what it looks like outside.
Because they say the sunset's really pretty from up here.
Yeah, but it's getting cloudy, so I don't know. I know we're the only people in this room. This is their Sky Lounge, and whatever it is, and it's supposed to be for the owners. There's nothing up here. You're supposed to be able to bring your own alcohol if you want to sit up here and drink. And I mean, there was only 2 of these little round tables, and there was one outside, I think, over there. But I mean, they're down.
A kid.
Yeah,
I think he was playing on his phone. I think
he was sleeping a while ago.
No, I don't know. When we started talking, he finally got up. He went outside for a minute, and then he left.
So you can see the mountains and stuff over here. So it's kind of nice to be up here. It's
supposed to be raining. Aren't you getting rain, Jeff?
It might be coming up his way. It was when I looked at it. It was kind of looking like it was coming from like Los Angeles up to like San Jose, and that way it was rolling like it was heading towards Reno. The rain that I looked at a little while ago. So I don't know if you're getting any rain. Because I know some of California there is getting rain and snow.
7 to 10 over. There you go. So now Buffalo's ahead. I mean,
that's the second.
This is kind of like the Patriots back in the day. So if Kansas City doesn't win, I'll be shocked. Not saying I want him to win.
Because I say all this, I normally argue with my grandkids and stuff and my son-in-laws that I think all these major sports are fixed. And it's all about whoever can draw the biggest crowd on TV and ticket prices and things like that is who wins these games. And you've seen it. We've seen it for years. Even in baseball, you'll see, I remember back in must have been in the 70s, it was not Philadelphia. Which baseball team was that? It wasn't Atlanta Braves. It's one of them teams right around there. But I mean, they won like 5 or 6 years in a row. And same thing with the Patriots. And you see this a lot of times with a lot of these sports. It's the same teams that comes back and wins every year. So where I think it's all about money. And I think they already know who's going to win. And it doesn't take a whole team, because it is sometimes like this, which are all my grandsons say that they'll be watching a football game and the ball goes right into the guy's hands and he drops it. And they're like, no, there is no humanly way he should have dropped that ball. A high school kid could have caught that ball. And so that's what they said. It's fixed. So they still watch it and all that. But
Oh, Skippy said he plowed 6 inches today.
holy smokes. We just talked to somebody from, what they say, Minnesota. Got 30 inches of snow up in the mountains.
Oh, no, Michigan.
Yeah.
Up in the Upper Peninsula.
I don't know,
30.
we might have a turn.
30
That's really
something.
bad. I can't even really see what the heck we're doing. Oh, I get up and stupid chair.
Move.
We're going to turn this way.
Hey. I won't be in the nice warm sun no more.
You sit right there.
Oh,
I'm back. Step on. Yeah, you can see a little bit better. We should chair this way and I'll pull. Hold the chair. Here it comes. Big old giant sucker chairs. A little bit better.
Oh yeah, it'll be a pretty sunset. Clouds are that way.
So the picture that I took of the thumbnail is actually looking out the other side, looking at the strip. So we drove down a little bit
I'm
today.
blinded.
Car slammed in the back of another car on the strip.
Not us.
Had 3 cars, 3 cop cars sitting there. Of course, we had to sit through like 10 lights. People are so stupid, they don't know how to move over. You know, there's 4 lanes there going down Las Vegas Boulevard, and there's 1 lane blocked. So you're not bright enough to say, hey, we ought to move over 1 or 2 lanes. So we do. No, they all just kind of sit there and they're like, what do I do now? I'm retarded. I'm stupid. I don't know which way to go. Welcome to Las Vegas.
Too cold for me. Anything under 75 is too cold for me. Salty Badger's on. Yes, Shepherdfest on Super Bowl Sunday, the 9th. Some weekends at Cycle Showcase and the One Motorcycle Show in Vegas. So there's going to be a lot of motorcycle stuff going on. I guess not all motorcycle people are football people.
Yeah, could be. And but you could go. Football games not all day. Normally, the football game's more in the afternoon. It starts 3 o'clock or something, 4 o'clock, depending on the West Coast side. And so you could still go out and do stuff in the morning and come back and do stuff in the evening.
Oh,
so
that's what Salty
that
Badger
works out
said.
all right.
30 inches in Michigan. That's what they said. They were up in the Upper Peninsula, and they'd gotten 30 inches of snow.
There you go.
It's crazy. So Salty Badger, that must be where he lives.
So
There's Dusty Country
we might
Garage.
get some snow here tonight. But I mean, when I looked at the radar earlier today, it wasn't anything even coming this way. It'd be nice to have some rain because we could use some rain here and also at home. The rain's here. It should rain at home too. We haven't had any. We're like everybody else. It's been almost
Long
200
time.
days, probably or more, since we've seen any rain along, like in LA. This is their first time. Same thing with us. We haven't had any rain for over 200 days. And I don't know if Vegas has had it or not. People going outside.
Still Sean. How you doing? Skippy says this has been the worst year in years that we've gotten over 5 foot of snow this far this year. Wow.
Well, we really need to have the rain up north. We need to get up in the mountains and stuff up at, we have Mammoth Lake up there in the
Big
mountains.
Bear
And, because that's the water we need during the summer.
that comes down.
And so a couple years ago, I think 2 or 3 years ago, they got more. And it filled up. It started filling Lake Mead back up out here, which has been down it's down like, I don't know,
25 years.
a couple 100 feet down. And
Yeah.
it brought it up a little bit from where it was. So,
Probably not as much as they need. They're probably only getting probably a few
must be
inches.
going it's too early for a prom, ain't it? Kids are all in black, and I first thought they were waiters and stuff, and this girl just come in with a dress on, long dress with a split all the way up the side, showing some leg.
Yeah. Pied Piper's on. He says, hello, our son, he lives there, up there in Michigan where they're getting all the snow.
Or in Las Vegas. So
Our snow is so dry, Ron couldn't even make a snowball.
sometimes it gets like that. We've had that before. That's the ones you don't like because it
Well,
gets to be a dusting if the wind
Janice lives
blows.
down there in North Carolina. Did you get all that snow that Myrtle Beach got? I know, I think
That was insane. Stephen Roden said it was
7
like
inches.
that he had gotten. And then I seen a couple ones a day or two later, and it still showed there was still sand on the beach, not from the waves coming in, but it was still. And that's just, to me, because we've lived in the Midwest most of our life, and then we lived on the West Coast. We lived in California for 17 years, and that's really the main beaches I've seen. We've been to Florida and stuff, and so when we went up north, like into Virginia and stuff like that, and people started talking about snow on the beach, they showed me pictures. I'm like, what the hell do you mean snows on the beach? You can't snow on a beach. But I never thought that, I guess, on the East Coast, it gets colder. So
Up north.
you see that, where like in the West Coast, along California, Oregon, and Washington State, it's humanly impossible really to get snow on the
I
beach.
bet you up in Washington and Oregon, they probably get snow on the beach.
I don't think they do.
I don't know. We never really been
Rain,
up that far.
lots of rain. But I don't think they get
Janice said they got 5.5 inches of snow, I guess. Skippy says, I'm ready for my garden. I'm ready to be out and working in the warm weather.
Our Sam's at home, which I can't believe they do this, because you can't grow nothing outside because it just burns everything up.
In Arizona.
And they got all these plants and these garden stuff and all this stuff. And we don't know. It could already be, by the time we get to April, like when we come back to do Arizona Bike Week, could be over 100 degrees already. That is not uncommon for Arizona weather. Could be 50 degrees too. So it could go either way.
OC. We lived in Orange County.
Yeah. We lived in
Inland Empire a little bit. We lived out in Corona for a while, but
so we lived most
of the time
in Orange County. So we started out in Tustin, California, and then we moved to
Orange Park Acres.
Yeah, lived there. Then we bought a house out in Corona. We sold that. Went to Norco, where the horse capital of the world, they call themselves. And then from there, we moved back into Anaheim. We moved into Yorba Linda. We had a house there, and then at the end we got rid of that, and we went to a apartment in
Anaheim. That's because when we bought the house in Arizona, we did that.
Downsized.
Yeah.
And she moved into that house for 8 months, the one in Arizona, and then I lived with a buddy for a while, and then I finally decided it wasn't worth being apart so much, so I just retired. And then,
now we're together 24/7.
Yep. Well, no different than most of the time.
Yeah, but we used to work 8 to 10 hours a day. We were apart. Be careful what you wish for.
I'm not complaining, am I? Well, most people aren't like us. You know, there's my brother or my sister and her husband has been married for over 50 years. The original marriage and everything, they actually sleep in separate rooms. So we have a lot of the friends that we know that have been married all either sleep in separate rooms, or we was showing how old we are. We used to watch the old Lucy show and all that kind of stuff where they used to have twin beds.
Yeah.
And it's like, how could somebody sleep not in the same bed?
Yeah, I don't know.
But some people snore, and I guess some people are crazy with their arms and stuff and beat the other person up and stuff like that. So we hear horror stories from people, but.
We missed you too, Jeff. David Eastwood's on. I asked him, he said they weren't coming down.
Not coming down?
No, not this year, they said.
Yeah.
So it'll be here 2 weeks.
That's right, almost. Yeah, so from this Saturday, so we'll be all the way here till next Saturday, and then we'll be here all the way to the next Saturday before we leave and go up to Ventura. So I still got to find one more place to stay, probably Friday night. But they're supposed to pick my bike up, and if they haven't picked it up by Tuesday, then hopefully Wednesday when we go in and talk to Meekum, or not Meekum, when we go in and talk to Hall Bike, I can get the exact day it's going to be picked up. Because I was thinking it could happen like that Friday. If it ended up being that Friday, we could go back home, but we'd be backtracking 100 miles, then have to drive the other 250 miles again. To where here it's just 250 miles that way, not 100 miles that way, and then 250 miles that way. So you get up to Ventura.
Oh, I think it was a Salty Badger said that they're thinking about moving that David Man Trapper show to the Midwest. Oh, I don't know where it went.
But we never got to go to it. The bad
Fest is on Super Bowl Sunday.
The bad thing about it is it's only one day, and I don't know why.
We might find out when we get there.
And so back in 2021, I think it was, I had found the guy that put it on, and I kind of wrote him and told him what we did. And he said, I'd love to have you guys come out. You know, I'll have tickets for you guys up front. You know, anything I want, anything you need, we're here to help you out. And I'm like, that's great. So then it rained. And of course but they pushed it a couple weeks out. Well, then we're already on our way to Daytona pulling the trailer. So, because typically here, we'd be leaving here in a week or so. We'd be pulling the trailer already
Usually
to,
between the 9th and the 12th, we leave.
usually right after this, right after the Mecum auction, we take off. And so this year, because I wanted to go to the AIM last year, but ended up being that it was the weekend we were leaving.
The Keisha.
So we weren't able to go. And then, so the David Bands hasn't been able to work out. So this year it is. Same thing with Arizona Bike Week. We're going to be able to make it to Arizona Bike Week this year because we'll be in Daytona. We'll fly home. And then we have, I don't know, it's February. So that's,
We'll be home the first week in March. Then we get home the 10th or 11th. And then that's in April. So we'll have about 2 weeks. Then we get back from that.
and then we fly back for Leesburg, Panama City.
That's the end of April.
And Myrtle Beach. So Myrtle Beach is bad because it's like by the time it's over, it's like the 20th, 19th or 20th. And so my bike's not going to show up to Sturgis until
the end of
the beginning of
July 9th. July 9th,
July.
I think they
Well,
said.
no later than that day. So I'm going to try to push them when we see them this week. Try to push them to try to get it there sooner. And then same thing with my bike.
Yeah, because if they're picking it up like mid-May, then they should be able to get there before July.
You would think. All right.
Well, she probably wanted us to take a picture of them.
Mm.
I don't know. Maybe I'll go take a picture
Yeah.
for those kids. What are you saying? Jeffy,
Yeah,
I
that's
spoke
probably what they wanted
with
to do.
Ruth.
She's
Yeah.
gonna go take a picture of those people and kids so they have a picture.
Oops.
So
I'll take a picture. You guys.
Hey, sorry, I know everyone asked, is it recording something?
no, we are a YouTube channel.
Oh, really?
We're streaming. What are you guys doing? A wedding or bachelor party and a 21st birthday they're doing? So somebody's biting the dust and somebody else is just old enough to drink. So there you go. Two things at once, which else you can do in Las Vegas. So let me go while she's over there. Let me go out here and I'll show you guys the sun going down and the view that we have. So let me turn the camera around first. Looking at me here. Let me hit camera settings. Camera. Hey, there's me. Let's go back camera. There you go. This is the room we're in. So she's out there taking a picture. All those kids, see them out there. Anybody under 50 is kids to us, just about, right? So let's go out here. All right, so there's the sun. It has not set yet. That is it Mount Charleston? Is that what's out here? I always get them mixed up. That's right there, that mountain. Should be some snow in there soon. So there's the Las Vegas Strip. I don't think I can zoom in on this. No, I can't. There's the Sphere right there. You see the blue thing? That's the Sphere. There's the airport right here. There's a yellow plane there. Spirit. Right behind it is the Southwest plane. There's Allegiant Stadium over there. And South Point is down there, the casino, where they're going to have the show Mecum Auction at. There's a plane coming in. Coming in. It's a little brisk out here. You can see it. And probably once it gets over here, we'll be able to see it. Here it comes. It should be coming out of the sun there in a minute. I don't see it on the camera. Here it is. Airplane. It's landing at the airport. Trump was here yesterday, but he got here really early. We were going to go see if we could see Air Force One, but by the time we got up and got moving, it must have already took off, so we didn't get to see it. So there you go. Got this.
1410 Kansas City.
Okay, let me, put this camera down. Flip it back around. Settings, camera, new. Camera. Doop. Hey, look, we're back. Doop. Doop. There we go.
So Ryder X is on. They said Kansas City's still 14-10 winning. Jeffy said he went to Reno on his 21st birthday.
I've been there several times to Reno.
I think I was pregnant on my 21st birthday.
You were pregnant. Who got you pregnant?
I wouldn't have any idea. Some strange man.
I thought it was just some kid.
As a kid. Some skinny, snot-nosed kid.
Didn't have snot nose.
So they're saying hi to Ryder X.
So pretty exciting. My buddy Art was supposed to come out. We never got back to him.
Oh, yeah, we'll have to call him and see. He might, maybe later this week. I don't know.
He said he was going to come out to Las Vegas while we were out here. So I don't know if he's going to come or not. I got passes to get in free now. So we got some passes.
What was huge? The sphere?
I don't know.
They
Hey,
said
look
that
at-
thing is huge.
I don't know.
Did you show him the huge?
Yeah, I showed him the sphere.
Is that an alien spacecraft?
I showed him the airplane. It was an airplane landing. Showed that. Showed him the airport. You could see some planes. And I can't zoom in on this one like you can on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't really get to, because I showed him the blue dot. I pointed my finger and said, that's the sphere. And so you can see it from here. It was nice and blue, so it was easy to see. It was
Okay.
a bright blue. I don't know if it was supposed to be the Earth. I don't know what it was. Couldn't see. I can't see that far either.
You guys should check out Area 51 while you're out there. It's not close to here.
It's like an hour drive more out.
Yeah.
We've never done that, but we have been like to Hoover Dam and all the other little touristy things.
You need to go back and watch the video on Hoover Dam.
Barney Five and his deputies.
Oh my gosh, that was not a good day.
Then they even came on and tried to badmouth me on the video because it was like Barney Five. And well, they hired these outside. What happened was it was ran by the state of Nevada was running the power station there. Well, I guess they turned it over to an outside company. So they hired Barney Five and his buddies to help do it. So we're in line and they have a checkpoint you have to drive through. So I got a gun under the seat. So the guy and the dog.
Charlie was
Charlie's in the truck, in the big truck. And so we had come over here for something and had luggage in the back. And I had a big rubber tent in it, bin, and it had a bunch of stuff in that too. And so we pulled up and he says, is there anything in the truck? And I just said, no, there's a dog in here. Don't open the door. Stick your hand in the window. Charlie wouldn't have been him anyway, but just wanted to say that anyway. Well, then the guy goes, so I get out of the truck and he goes, well, I need to look in your tailgate. So I pull the tailgate down and I got a metal cover on it. And because that tub is moved, my cover won't open. I have to get in there and crawl in and pull stuff out. So the stupid Barney Five goes up and says, so I pulled the suitcases out and he wants to open them up and I opened them up and he's like, well, you need to pull that tub out. And I'm like, no. I said, you want to see it? You crawl your ass in there and you pull it out. And he's like, you need to pull over here. I'm like, I'm not pulling over nowhere. And so I pull the camera on and I start talking about Barney Five. And he starts trying to get in on my video. And I'm like, dude, I got a right to say whatever I want. You don't like it? Get the F away from me. You ain't nobody. So then I chase down a ranger. There's a park ranger over. And I go over and I said, who are these ass clowns over here? And he told me they were an outside thing, that the park had nothing to do with it anymore, that they're in charge. These guys are, and we had seen a Jeep that came in and they made him turn around because he had a cooler in the back. Well, he probably had to open the whole back end of his Jeep to be able to get the cooler out. And so they wanted them to dump the cooler out on the ground so they could see everything was in this cooler. It's full of ice and beer and soda, whatever else he had in there. And the guy's like, no, then you can't come in. You can't come in. You can't come in. And I'm like, and I'm like, what are you looking for? Well, we're looking for guns.
Explosives.
And I said, you're so stupid. There's a bridge up there that they built now that you can go to the dam. You should be more worried about that because if I wanted to pick people off, I just get up on that bridge, sit on top of my vehicle, and that would be the thing. I said, you should have dogs that are sniffing for bombs and explosives. That's the things I would worry about. I'm not worried about somebody coming down there with a gun because if you ever go to Hoover Dam, there is nothing there. If you want to try to, let's say you did do something down there, let's say you just robbed the place. You're not going to get very far because you got to drive 10 to 15 miles to get out of there. And you're not going to be speed racer going through there. So you're going to get caught before you get away anyway. So it's like, I
Hoover
don't know,
Dam.
Barney Five and his deputies, and they were rent-a-cops. And so they
Anyway, go watch the video. You will hear a lot more.
it's
Crazy.
the price of having a YouTube channel. And that's not the only time. I did another one there, the worst campground in the world. I did a video on that too. And
Down in Fort Myers.
so we have a
Florida.
handful of videos that we've done like that. And
Never did the one on
Waffle,
Waffle
House.
House.
That was another experience. I'll never eat another Waffle House.
Barney Fife. It's Fife, not Five. Fife. So there's only one road in and one road out
Yep.
as you speed
Because
away.
if you go across the
It's
bridge,
a
it used to
road
be,
that
you could drive across the dam and you could go out the other side and you get in Arizona. Well, now you drive across and there's a big parking lot over there and you have to turn around and come back. And sometimes they don't even let anybody drive across anymore. So we haven't been down there in a long time. But we thought, you know, hey, we were driving home. I don't know what we even came to Vegas for. I don't know whose house we were at because we had Charlie unless we stayed at
It might have
Marie's
been
house.
Marie's.
And I don't even know what we came over for. And so we brought the dog.
And I don't know. He says, let's just go and we'll go check out the Hoover Dam and we'll do a video on it. And I'm like, okay. We did a video. How to get into the Hoover Dam.
And somebody said that they're not there anymore. So, but I mean, what was funny was these big tourist bus came up with all this luggage and stuff, and they didn't search them.
That guy with the coffin, he was pulling the coffin behind his.
And he had a hearse and he had a trailer full of motorcycles. So I caught that guy at the rest area. So when we turned around, we went up to this rest area, and I seen this guy's hearse, and he had this big motorcycle trailer behind him. And I'm like, did you have trouble trying to get in? He says, yeah, I wanted to go down there and check it all out. And he says, they wanted them to unload all the motorcycles and unbolt the toolboxes bolted inside the trailer. Wanted them to unbolt the toolbox and bring it outside and take all the tools out of it. I said, these guys are retarded. They need a brain. They didn't have guns. I had a gun more than they did. Stupid rent-a-cop.
Move on. Move on.
Clowns.
Don't
foot up
kiss.
their butt.
Oh my, I found the video. I'll post the link up here as soon as I get it going here.
But yeah, so that's one of our earlier videos. We probably, I don't know what year it was, just how long ago it says
I
we
don't
did
know
it.
either.
It should tell you on there how long ago it was.
It's,
What are you doing?
well, I
If you're
copied
watching-
the link. There it is. Because I got to put it on this phone. Oh no, it's not. It's that phone. Ay, ay, ay.
You just tell them the name of it. Just type the name in and they can type it in.
Warning, shocking, Hoover Dam must hear.
How long ago does it say it was?
4 years ago.
Yeah, so it's one of our first videos we did.
It's 15 minutes long. We got 196 thumbs up.
And you'll see some of the Barney Fives on there. They came in and you could tell it was them that were saying, or their friends that were saying stuff. And it's like, you're retarded. You're stupid. That's why you're standing there making $8 an hour or whatever the hell they're making. Probably not even making minimum wage, thinking that they're police officers and wannabe cops. And guy couldn't run a quarter mile if his life depended on it. He could roll a quarter mile.
It's all right. Just move on. I love the clown talk. Bob, that sounds like robbing a bank in Anchorage where there's no place to run. Boat plane at over 700 miles to Canada. Barney 5-0. That's what I thought he means.
Yeah, oh, did you guys, if you're on, are you on our Sturgis page, our Sturgis Facebook page? There's a really cool article that Devin, which is Wyatt's dad, put on there, which I think somebody mentioned something about it, that they seen somebody when it was 29 degrees in Sturgis driving down the highway. I thought it might have been Doug that wrote that. And can't believe a guy was out riding at 29. This guy was out running the cops. So they're going down the 90 at 29 degrees. This guy riding a Harley. And they ended up catching the guy. He threw a gun and ended up being some people that were driving in the cars, called the police and said, hey, this is the exit. He threw the gun off, and they ended up finding the gun. It was stolen. He had drug paraphernalia. He had crack on him and all this other stuff. And this guy's doing like 90 to 100 miles an hour on the 90, going off exits and stuff. I think he went off exit 44 and exit 40, I think is what they said. It's a really cool article to read. And I think the police wrote it. You can also go to the Sturgis website or Sturgis Facebook page, and it's on there somewhere too. But somebody had posted that, and then it's just some crazy stuff. That was what the article was. How Devin, when he put it on there, he says people just can't wait for the warm weather to ride their motorcycle. And but yeah, I don't know what the guy was. I was thinking it was like a 1%er, but I think it was just some crackhead
There you go.
that was doing that. So don't know. But yeah, there's something crazy to go check out. And
So there it is.
And I did delete somebody from my Sturgis page though, on my video that we put up on, because I linked some of the stuff that was about Sturgis, like, you know, Sturgis could not happen. And this guy wrote a whole bunch of stuff, called us stupid and all this other stuff. And I'm like, I kind of wrote the guy back, and he wrote something else back. And I finally said, you know, screw this guy. I said, by the way, this is my page too, just to let you know. And then about that time I thought, no, I'm going to block him and I'm going to remove him, take his comment and everything else. Goodbye. See ya. So sometimes I do get to a point where it was calling us both names.
Makes
Calling me
sense.
names that isn't so bad. I really don't care. But to call hers different names, I don't. You know, sometimes when we first started, a lot of you guys would go after some of these people because somebody told her she had a fake smile. And there must have been 100 of you went after this person. And I don't know if they're still on the channel or whatever happened to them. I don't know. This same thing. It was 4 or 5 years ago. So this is now, we just hit our 5th year, not our 5th full year. We got to get all the way through this year to end up being full 5 years, but our 5th anniversary. 2020. So my first video came out, I think, in December of 2019 was my first video came out, like right around the end of, right before Christmas. And then we went and did the RV show down in Tampa and did all that kind of stuff. And then kind of built our channel up from there. And then the pandemic came, and then here we are doing this instead. We do motorcycle stuff. But we're really gaining subscribers. We should break, I'd say before Daytona here, we might hit 30,000 subscribers. We've gained just since that video the other day on Sturgis, I've gained probably 300 or 400 new subscribers. Thanks to everybody new that's on there. Appreciate you checking us out. And I try to post that a lot. If you're on another page and people are, let's say you're on a Sturgis page or a Daytona or something like that, don't put a link on there because they usually don't like that. But if you're in the comments and somebody's asking, like somebody will always ask us, somebody's on a page and they'll say, you know, I'm looking for some good campgrounds. Why just go down to our video? You can go down to our playlist, copy that link on Sturgis and say, hey, here's a great couple to watch. There's a bunch of campground reviews in here. There's 80 or 90 videos in there they can look through. And then that's how they end up being subscribers, because they're like, wow, these people got a lot of great. Same thing I do in Daytona. I said, you know, here's, you know, somebody's like, well, what is it like? Well, watch these videos. There's 20 something videos here you can watch just on Daytona. And it's going to show you pretty much everything that's going on. A few things is going to change. But other than that, the rally, which is a lot of you that would go to rallies, and we see that. A rally is a rally. What makes a rally different is the people that go to it, the people that, the vendors that are there, because there's different vendors at different locations, the riding that you could do or the riding you can't do. But other than that, it's really the same. And some of the vendors, just like it is, a lot of these vendors are the same vendors we see at every rally. They're always at the same rally. And, but like you was looking at something.
I'm looking, and the sky looks so blue and pretty, like it's like middle of the
We
day.
didn't really get a good sunset. The clouds came over.
Yeah. But over there, it's really dark and cloudy. So where the sun's setting.
It's just the camera makes it, and the windows are tinted too. So that kind of makes it.
Oops, not on my buddy's ride, but some do. There you go. Send these. Oh, yeah. Just ask. Okay. I don't know what exactly all it said, but I didn't want to read it out loud. Yes. Equals to me. I love your Azor video. Just saw it. It's awesome. I don't know what Azor is. Azor. Unless you misspelled it.
It's Arkansas.
Oh, maybe.
Because there is some, you know, and all the rallies are a little different.
It was a very, like, the last week or two of December in 2019 was our first video. But we just say we started 2020 because that was the first full
I don't know.
year.
I don't even know what the very first video even was. I'd have to go back and look at it and see. We started out as an RV channel. And so in 2019 is when we bought our RV that we have. We bought it in Sturgis that year. We went to Sturgis. I had some video there, but I had some really crappy cameras and Ended up being, she said, it's on, it's blinking, it's recording, it's recording. I get
He kept
home
saying,
and
is
there's
it on?
nothing
Is it on? I said, yeah, the light's still flashing. I'm on the back of the
We didn't get
bike.
I got a few videos that we did on our phone, and I was fixing one. I had a video I was fixing up that had a lot of pictures that we've taken over Sturgis and all this stuff, and that's in the old computer, the old software. I never did. I thought about it the other day. It's too late. It's gone. But I took all the pictures and I downloaded them all in there, and I wanted Art to come out because Art went with us twice. And I wanted him to kind of talk about our experience of going and stuff like that. Because Arts did a bunch of stuff with us. He rode the coast with us. I'd like to do that again. I don't know when that'll happen, but we're going to ride the coast sometime soon. We're going to give you some fire, some of that stuff down. Looks like the PCH is open as long as we don't get a mudslide. So it looks like on the way back on that Sunday or that Monday, we got to go back down. I got to go to the doctor and all that stuff. We're going to go down and visit our daughter in Huntington Beach. So we're going down there, we're going to stop and film some of that devastation for you and show you a Bob and Tam version of that. And I've done stuff like that. I worked for SoCal Gas, and so I did the San Bruno fires. I went up there and helped PG&E, and I worked those. So that was really the first time I went to something that was that drastic, to where whole subdivisions were gone, cars were melted, motorcycles were melted on the street, and there'd be a house all by itself. Even the palm trees weren't even burned. And it was like, this is just scary, weird, how this, but till you go into something like that, you can't experience it. And if you've been in a war, if you've been in Iraq and things like that, yes, you probably have seen, and probably worse than that, you see people dead and stuff like that. I never seen anybody dead or anything like that. But I mean, we just heard some of the people that were from when Trump went down there to North Carolina, where people were saying, one of the people that got up there and said there's friends and stuff, or dead people floating past them and stuff. And it's like that's real,
Dramatic.
Yeah, you don't want to live through anything like that. So I never had to do that. But when I worked for the gas company, I drove my company truck. And so if the National Guard was blocking the street, I could just drive around the truck and they just wave to me and say, yeah, come on in, come on in. So I drive around. I took all these great pictures of all that stuff. Well, then they were trying to sue PG&E for that fire. And so they told us we weren't allowed to post anything on social media. So I kept all that. I don't even know where all those pictures are at. They're somewhere on a disc somewhere.
Yeah.
And, but I worked that one. And then we used to have them down in Anaheim Hills in California, Southern California. We had 2 fires there that I worked. And one was where we used to live. And we got evacuated.
Anaheim Hills.
So done some of that. So we're going to try to show you some of that, be some extra video to show. Maybe some people want to see it. Maybe some people don't. A lot of it might be stuff you've already seen.
They showed it a lot on the news. So I'm sure we're not going to see anything any different than anybody else has.
It's a different view than what you might have seen. Because one of the things that I'm really seeing that's interesting right now on the internet is these people that got arrested for the insurrection on January 6th. You should really listen to some of these stories of these people. This one guy's got a video. And they were shooting him with tear gas, bear spray, like the pepper spray, but it's for bears. And they had all these big giant canisters, and they were just squirting people in the face, and they were just standing there. And so it's like, well, which it is, some of those people did attack. If I'm just standing there and you're squirting this crap in my face and I can't go backwards because there's so many people, I'm going after you because I'm going to disarm you. I don't care if you're the mall police, if you're the out at the Hoover Dam police, or if you're the real police officer. I'm not. What are you going to do? I didn't do it. But I'm not saying everybody's perfectly innocent, but it's just to hear some of the stories. But like I say, this one guy, he had video, and I was watching it, and I was like, because they threatened him before that if he ever put it up, because that's what they said. Why didn't you turn it over to? They said no. They told me if I ever put that video out, because I just said I had video. I didn't tell them where I had it at, and that to prove that I didn't do anything. And they said, if you ever show that video, give it out to anybody, we'll arrest you and put you in jail forever. And he says, on what charge? They said, well, we'll find a charge on you. And I believe that. And just his video, and I'm not believing every single one, but I mean, just to watch some, I've only seen about 6 of them so far. But one was grandma today I seen come up, and I didn't get to watch her video. And, but I don't know. I think there's been a lot of, which it's always been. There's always people that get arrested that shouldn't really get arrested. But I think there's been a lot of things going on with it, which I'm all ready for JFK and Martin Luther King too. I'm betting money the government killed them. And it's going to come out.
Yeah,
And-
that's the guy that he watched, the guy with the horns. And he had his face
yeah.
painted red, white, and
But
blue.
he didn't have the video.
Oh, I
was-
thought he was the one that had the video.
No, he didn't have the
Oh.
video. I don't think he had the video. Was he the one that had the
Yeah,
video?
because you said here, this is the guy that was
Oh,
just
okay.
on TV talking.
And
This was him at
Okay.
the insurrection.
so I don't remember if that's the exact same guy or not, but we watched a couple of that. But I mean, it was just really weird how some of their stories are. And that's what a lot of people say. Well, they admitted to it. Well, if you've ever been arrested,
Oh, there was a girl from the BBC interviewing him, and she kept saying, "But you chose to
you admitted you were guilty.
Yes. Why did you do that?" And he said he told her the whole story, and then she says, "You didn't answer my question. I asked why. You said you were," and she had the little British accent. Why you pleaded guilty? And he said, "Obviously, you can't see the forest from the trees, Missy." It's just like, it was really funny. But she just kept asking. It was almost
Well,
like,
but he wouldn't say what he said. What he should have said was the reason people take plea. I got a friend that wasn't a child molester, but he got accused of sexually assaulting this girl. And this girl just lied. She was just a bad girl. We knew this family, and she had tied our girls up, which I didn't even know at that time. She just didn't want to go over to their house anymore because I knew the guy that got accused of this. And so instead of contacting me and saying, "Hey, this girl's accused me, could you be a witness?" Because I said our daughters would have, and they were little kids at that time. Our youngest daughter was probably 5, and the other one was probably 6 or 7. And then by that time they were already like 12, so they're older now. And the same thing. No, he's never did anything to us. He never. And we used to leave him with him. And our daughters were a lot better looking than this ugly, stupid girl. And so he ended up taking a plea bargain because they told him that he could end up getting jail time. So just take a plea bargain, you just get probation. Well, he ended up getting on the Megan's list and everything else.
and he had to register as a sex offender every time he moved.
He
and
couldn't get
everything
a
else.
job anywhere and
He
everything
worked
else.
at a convenience store the rest of his life.
Yeah, he died not too long ago. He died of cancer, and
But he'd been a friend of his since grade school.
yeah, and but he took a deal that we could have helped him, and he wouldn't have ever took any deal. He would never been accused. We would have had the proof to prove that he never did do anything. And so, like I say, there's a lot of people that may take a plea bargain.
And the saddest thing of all, his attorney was his brother-in-law.
Yeah,
Made him do that.
but they probably thought the same thing. It was if you go to court, the little kid testifies, and it would look bad. They're probably going to believe her over you, and which probably would.
And then he had just had a baby too, and he was never allowed to see his daughter.
Yeah.
Stephen said, "What about the Capitol Police that shot the woman in the head and killed her?"
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of that stuff that happened.
Jeff says, "Let's talk bikes."
Yeah. So just some crazy stuff that's going on, but I mean, it's yeah. So got some really cool bikes we've seen today. There's one I really wanted to get close to. There was a really cool looking, I don't even know what this bike was. It almost kind of looked like that squirrel bike, but I don't think it was one. And
It came in from the auction.
yeah, it was sitting in the part out there. I got a pan of, I didn't get real close. I didn't want to infringe on anybody. Because first, Hall Bike's like, "You can't film us." I said, "Well, do you know so-and-so?" And they're like, "Yeah." She knows us and we're okay. We're filming stuff for them. Oh, okay. Can you not just film us, wait and get the other guys instead of us? We really don't want to be on camera. And I'm like, all right. Got a little bit of them. I didn't get them unloading a bunch of the bikes like I normally would do, but we're going to go probably over there again tomorrow. They had about 4 or 5 semis, Hall Bikes. So what Hall Bikes does is they have a warehouse here. So all those bikes have been coming. Typically, it's like the Buffalo Chip, anybody that's got a classic set of motorcycles and you're having them shipped someplace, Hall Bikes is who you're going to call. They've got insurance. You can pay like me. They give you $15,000 of insurance unsaid. If your bike's worth any more than that, it costs you $140. And it's a $500 deductible, or you can pay to get rid of that deductible. Well, I didn't pay for the $500 deductible. I took the $500 deductible. I paid the $140 to make my bike worth $24,000. I think I told them is what it's worth. And on a good day, if you get that. And so you can leave gas in it and all that. So in my case, they're not liable for your battery. You can put it in travel mode, but they don't guarantee anything. Well, I just got done buying a brand new freaking battery. So I put a brand new battery in it. And so I disconnected it. So it's in the garage. If they're coming.
If they come this next 2 weeks, We either have the neighbor across the street or
I gotta
after
go
the
home.
first. Well, or after the first, Jim will be back.
Yeah.
So,
So they just need to push it down and they'll put it on the trailer or in the semi and haul it off. I'd really like to have been there to film it, to be unloaded up. And then they're going to haul it down to Gator Harley Davidson down in Leesburg. And then we'll pick that up. The deal was originally, they said if you give them a 38-day notice, 38-day notice, they would get it there by the time you wanted it. Well, I wanted it there on the 25th, which would have been the Tuesday that we arrived, which I wouldn't pick it up to Wednesday anyway, because we wouldn't have a car till Wednesday. And then take it over to Daytona. Well, now it looks like we may not get it. Well, they're saying the worst scenario is March 1st, which is the first Saturday.
which is the first day of Daytona Bike
Oh, it
Week.
starts Friday, didn't it?
I don't know.
I think it starts Friday. And I think it starts Thursday. Because we're there Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I don't think it starts. You should just ask your phone when it was. Because the calendar is not going to necessarily tell you what its starting time is.
It starts Friday the 28th.
Yeah, so it starts Friday. So we won't have it the exact first day, but I mean, we already got a car. We already figured we'd have a car anyway, because we're flying into Orlando and we'd have to drive back to Orlando. That's like an hour drive. So I'm not going to Uber that, because somebody had told us we should get a shuttle. When I sat down and looked at the shuttle, it was going to cost us $80 each to ride a shuttle, each round trip. $160. For $250, I got a car. So that way, if it does rain, typically during Daytona, it's going to rain.
There's our countdown. Do you want to tell everybody?
Oh. So she found this app, gives you a countdown for all the rallies.
Wait, no, I put all the
Oh,
dates
did you?
in.
Well, it's keeping track.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It's called
So,
Countdown.
so Daytona, from today, it is 33 days to Daytona. Arizona Bike Week is double that. It's 66 days to Daytona, to Arizona Bike Week. Leesburg is 88 days. Thunder Beach Rally, which is in Panama City Beach, is 94 days. Myrtle Beach, you didn't put Sturgis down.
Well, these were just the spring rallies.
Myrtle Beach is 103 days away. So what's a 1-year anniversary for? Since you started this app?
No.
Something else?
Mm-hmm.
Since you had surgery done.
Anyway, I guess I can put in Sturgis.
So there you go. We got some dates of things coming up. So things coming up really fast. And I like it. I like the excitement. I like to do stuff. I don't like to sit around at home and do nothing. If I had some more stuff to work on, I got some other parts I want to put on the ATVs. I still got to clean them up. But I know we're going to get stuck not selling them things this year. It's going to be hot by the time we get back, and I'm not going to have time to sell them. I'm not going to be real happy about it. So I didn't put anything in the gas yet, and I need to. So when I get home, I need to drive them a little bit around the lot, put gas in them, and then disconnect the batteries and all that on them and let them sit. Because I've got a bad feeling it's going to be after, well, we get it in the fall, I guess. We could try to sell them again come the fall.
That can
But-
sell them right before Christmas. I thought maybe somebody buy them for Christmas.
But we couldn't get the parts, and now we want to get titles for them. So the two
Always
little
something.
ones, we didn't have titles for them. I thought we got one, but we didn't. But we've got the MSOs that show from the manufacturer, which Arizona was just stupid. They wanted me to show a bill of sale that I bought them. Well, we have the MSO that comes from the manufacturer over in China that built it. It's all documented, and it's in her name on the back. They filled it out with her name. Well, they said, you have to have the serial numbers on your bill of sale. We bought this in 2018. So there's no sales tax on it because we just bought this old ratty motor home. I didn't pay no sales tax on that thing either. So I don't know, just we got to prove, or you can bring it up here and you can inspect it. Well, then they want me to put $1,000 deposit up on each one to get a title. And it's like, no. So the Polaris, I've got a title for the 2004 Polaris. I've got a title for that, but we were waiting on the battery because it got lost someplace in the mail. UPS wouldn't deliver the battery or something. It had showed up this week. It must have showed up Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday. It showed up, and I want to put a charger on it. So it's like I don't have enough time. We're leaving Saturday. I don't have enough time to fool around with that thing. So it's sitting. I haven't even tried to start that yet. I drained all the gas out. I'm hoping I can put fresh gas in it, spray some ether in the carb, and get it fired up and get it running. That's my goal. But it has a hole in the tire. I got to get a plug And the kit that I want is,
Sturgis says 187 days.
there you go, 187 days to the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally starts. So put those plans in. And Sturgis will be a good one this year. I don't know. Well, we have to see all the sponsorships and all that.
Good night,
go.
Janice.
I don't know how much longer we're going to do rallies. There is some rallies I'd like to do that we don't do. Some that are closer here, but sometimes they overlap. So it makes it tough. Like they have the Spring Fling that's also down there. Same place that Bikes, Booze, and Barbecue is. They have what's called Spring Fling. It's in March. So it's actually the same weekend as Leesburg is. Well, I'm not giving Lees. I like Leesburg. And but they're all right in a row. So once we get to Florida, we do all three of those at one time, to where if I didn't, and then I'd have to fly. There's no airport around Eureka Springs and Rogers. There's no airport there. You have to fly. You can fly into Fayetteville, I think, but it's a small airport and it's more expensive. So you either have to fly into Tulsa or you have to fly into Springfield, Missouri. And both of those are like a 2-hour drive to get to Eureka Springs. So this year we were thinking about after Ocean City. So we do Ocean City, and then right after that, Spikes with Barbecue. This year they pushed it back a couple of weeks. It's going to be the first week of October. So we thought, well, she wants to go see our daughter in Kansas, and we thought, well, maybe we drive a little red truck, and we would just drive that to Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue, and then come back, and then we wouldn't have to have another airline ticket. It's a 5-hour drive from Wichita Falls to Eureka Springs. And because once we get there, we pretty much drive the motorcycle anyway. But now she thinks our one.
Well, his brother graduates this year, so he'll be on his own. If he gets he may not have his driver's license by then. If he doesn't have his driver's license, then we'll be able to take the truck.
So we'll see what happens. We got to see about that because we need to know as soon as I'm going to have to buy airline tickets. If not, and rent the car. So we figured if we could do that, that would save us some money. So we're staying with Steven. I don't know if that's Steven on.
Steven, it was on.
And we're going to stay with him in Myrtle Beach. He's invited us to stay with him. He's going to pick us up from the airport and take us back to the airport and all that. And he's going to help me ship my bike back. He's going to keep the bike at his house.
Well, he doesn't have to pick us up from the airport because we're riding the bike up.
Oh, okay.
Just take us to the airport
Yeah.
when we get ready to leave.
And so that'll save us some money. That saves us about $1,000.
Good night, Karen.
A
They're
little
all
more
going
than
to bed.
1,000. Going to bed?
Well, we're 3 hours different.
Yeah, but I started early.
I know.
It's only-
So 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 8 there.
Oh, who goes to bed at 8 o'clock?
We have gone to bed at 8 o'clock before.
Yeah, we go in there and watch TV. We can go to sleep.
Catch you later, Karen, because Janice already got off too. Neil said he's getting off soon. And he's an hour ahead of us, but his battery's dying.
No, he's an hour behind us.
Oh, whatever. So it's
he's
4 there.
Yeah. And he's going down to
21 to 16, halftime. Stephen says, yes, your Bikes, Booze, and Barbecue videos were outstanding.
And I love Bikes, Booze, and Barbecue. That's one of the reasons I'd like to get there earlier this year. We've already
a
talked
funny
to Pig Trail, and they said they give us a bike the extra time to ride. We just got to check with
Good night,
the
Neil.
Cat House at the place we stay at, which shouldn't be a problem either. But we will do that. And so I like to get down there early, at least 3 or 4 days early, and do some riding down there. I think the riding down there is going to be as
Saw
good, if not better, than
Branson.
Sturgis. You know, you're not going to have Mount Rushmore and all that kind of different things like that to see, but just riding some of the curves and the switchbacks. And there's a thing that's called what is that thing we were going to go see and we didn't make it to it. It's the
Arkansas Grand Canyon.
yeah. I wanted to go see that. There's a bunch of stuff. And everything, it's almost all the rides are at least an hour to go do. And we did a few while we were down there this last time, but do more. So this year we're going to try to do the videos a little bit different. Not real different, but I mean, we're going to show you more stuff that's going on. Because what we find out with rallies is the people that are at the rallies don't always have time to see all of our videos that we're putting out daily. So what we're going to do is up until that rally starts, we'll be showing you the previews of stuff. Hey, here's this, here's this, here's this. And then once the rally starts, every video that will come out, whenever it comes out that day, will be what we've done the day yesterday. Hey, here's the bar we went to. Here's this, here's that. And here's the excitement's going on. Here's slaw wrestling. Here's jello wrestling. Here's whatever's going on. You know, I don't know.
Oh, we did that one year. Remember, we gave an update every morning and.
Well, we're not really going to necessarily give an update of what's going. We're going to show them afterwards. So, because what ends up happening is I don't get the views like in Daytona. Daytona has sucked the last 2 years. We've had lousy views on Daytona, and I don't know why. Leesburg does better, and Myrtle Beach is like one of the is like the best East Coast rally I have for people watching.
Leesburg. I thought Leesburg was really good.
Leesburg was good, but it wasn't as good as Myrtle Beach was.
No.
And so
4 o'clock, that's early.
but it ends up being like in Myrtle Beach. We do get there a week early, but in Myrtle Beach, so we're still there ahead of time showing that. So but see, what I look at is most people watch our videos to get information to know about your rally. Like Sturgis this year, we had 7 weeks of all this stuff that we did, showed you these great places, and I couldn't have asked for better viewership during that time. I'm very happy, just outrageous. That's why we're doing the same thing again this year. Same thing, but we'll show you a lot of different stuff. That's like I say, when people say, "Oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do in Sturgis," but believe me, we're there 8 weeks.
And don't do it all.
Yeah, and don't do the same thing twice. So it's there is no place like that. You know, we get to Daytona and we get to some of these rallies like Myrtle Beach. We get to where we're fiddling our thumbs because it's like, now we're going to do today. You know, I guess we'll go down and see what's going on at the dealership. Let's go down to Myrtle's Inlet and see what's going on down there. You know, same old stuff. But people want to see that stuff. They want to see the wildness and the craziness. And because Daytona and Myrtle Beach are 2 rallies that are more of a drinking rally. There's not a lot of riding to do. That's about it. There's some vendors at both, but other than that, there really isn't anything to do. Right up and down the highway there, there just isn't. Daytona's probably got a little bit more. You can go down to St. Augustine's and look around, and you can go down the A1A and ride the coast a little ways. But I don't call that coast riding. If you ever come to California or Oregon, that's coast riding, where 75 to 80% of the time you're a rock throw. Yeah, you can throw a rock and hit the water.
You can see the water.
Where it's not like Florida or Texas or some of these other places. You're like, where the hell? When for the very first trip we went down, not the first time we ever been to Florida, but she's got our friend, the old girlfriend. She had a boyfriend. I guess it's the same guy she's got now.
Yeah.
And they bought a motorcycle. They bought a Harley. So we decided we'll rent a bike. So I rented a bike. I rented a Harley down there, and they said, well, where do you want to go? And I said, I love to ride the coast. That's my favorite ride. Anywhere we go, I love to ride the coast. And they said, okay. And they were down in Tampa area. And so we went down like to St. Petersburg and all that kind of stuff along there. And so we're riding. We probably rode a couple hours. And we stopped someplace for lunch or something like that. And I'm like, when are we going to get to the coast? We've been riding it. Where the hell's the water at? Oh, there's subdivision stuff. We can't get in there. Well, then we're not on the coast. So, yeah. But, yeah, if you get on the Daytona side, you see a little bit more of the coast. But unless you've ridden in California or Oregon, they have all these beach towns. And it ain't nothing like the East Coast or Florida. Nothing like it. Nothing. There's no comparison to it. Wait till we will do a video soon. As soon as I can get ready to ride the coast again. Art's finally retired, so he probably will go with me. She may not go. And she don't know if she wants to sit on a bike that long again. And we took 6 days up. It took 6 days for a round trip. Go up the coast, come back. And but it's just all the cool places you stop. Because me, it's like people when they say, "Oh, you don't ride your bike to Daytona. You don't ride your bike to Sturgis." And I always ask the same question when the guys give me that attitude. So other than stopping for gas,
It's beautiful.
stopping for food, and a place to stay at night, what else are you doing on your bike? What else are you stopping and seeing? Nothing. So what is the point of you riding 1,500 miles, 2,000 miles to get there? Oh, to say I did it. We've done it. You've done it, haven't you?
Yeah.
So what do I need to prove that I've done it?
Just to say you've been there, done that, I guess.
But now, once we pulled the trailer the first time with the bike in it, the difference was, well, here's what happened. The last time she rode the Sturgis,
On my own bike.
yeah, she rode her Street Glide. We decided to go all the way up the coast. And it was about a 5-day trip to get to
Sturgis.
About 2,200 miles we rode. And by the
Sun
time,
up to sundown.
yep. And when we got to Sturgis, what did we do? You know where they have the Harley display there on LaSalle there? There's some grass there. We sat there for 3 days. Didn't want to ride no more. We were just tired. And
Tired of riding.
and I enjoy now that when we get to Sturgis, I put a minimum of 1,500 miles just in the Black Hills riding around. That's not going out to Badlands or Devil's Tower. That's just riding around in the Black Hills. And I take that 1,500 miles versus the 1,500 miles of California to get to Sturgis. I enjoy that 1,500 miles in the Black Hills a whole lot more. But now it's in 8 weeks, but that's a whole lot more enjoyable. Now there's some rides I'd like to do. I like to do a Route 66 ride. It's something I still would like to do. It's on my bucket list, but I want to take a month to do the ride there and back. And I want to stop at all these little tourist traps, and I want to see all the stuff. I want to talk to people. I want to experience that. To me, that's the riding I enjoy. I started doing that when we were in California, is doing those kind of rides. We used to go for rides on a Saturday. We'd ride 300 to 400 miles to go eat lunch. Turn the bike, turn around, come back. Or maybe we'd say, let's go ahead and get a motel room for tonight and stay the night and we'll get the same clothes. And you have to go down front and get some toothpaste and stuff so we can stuff to survive through that night. But I mean, that's the kind of riding I like to do. And we got one friend, if any of you seen her, she was in Sturgis 2 years ago, Sherry. She's probably my worst person to ride with because when we pull out of the driveway, she goes, "Where are we going?" I don't know. She goes, "What do you mean you don't know?"
Which way we going?
I don't know. I'll know as we start pulling out of the, when I
Where
start.
are you going to stop for gas? It was the first stop for gas.
I have no
But she's very
planned.
When she took her motorhome up to Sturgis, she knew exactly what gas station she was going to stop at because of her motorhome. She would call the gas station. She wanted to know their hours. She wanted to know what their overhang was to make sure she could get her motorhome through there. And she knew exactly where she was going to stop, how many miles she was going to drive, each rest stop she was going to stop at, to the second. She knew exactly where she was going to be exactly at that time. But that's her. She's just a planner.
So I'm not like that because it's like in Southern California, we would get on the bikes and we'd pull out, and it depended on the day. Let's say it's going to be really hot. Well, we got a couple choices. One, we could go up to Big Bear and go right up in the mountain. And we could do that, or we could go down to the coastline and just ride the coast. Now we could turn left and go down towards San Diego, head towards Mexico, or we can make a right and go up through Santa Monica and go up to Ventura and go up to San Jose, or no telling how far. And that's just an afternoon drive. Now we don't normally if we're going to do a ride like through, we don't ride the PCH from Huntington Beach all the way up to Malibu. It's a waste you're going to waste a whole day just doing that in the traffic. So we get about 7 o'clock on a Saturday morning. Traffic's not too bad yet. Get on the highway. We jump on that highway till we get into Santa Monica. Then we slide down to the one where all those people's houses are all burned at. We know all those houses. We know that strip. We know all the businesses along there. We've rode that hundreds of times. Pepper Ridge College is right up at the top of the hill. And so we know that area really, really well. And so that's that's the coastline we go. You can pretty much ride the coast except till you get to the Air Force base there. You can't, or the Naval base, whatever base that is up there. You can't go through the base. You have to come back out on the 101 and then come back out on the 1. And so we've done all that kind of stuff. There's another ride I used to always love, which it didn't get burned this time, is Mulholland Drive. Yeah. It's another cool ride to do on a Saturday or a Sunday. That's where the Rock Store is at. Mm-hmm. That's a really cool place. It's a well-known biker stop. And
Topanga Canyon got pretty well wiped out too. Yeah. And we used to ride that too. Yeah.
Another little windy road to ride down. A lot of that stuff back there. That's where the old MASH site was at. We've been there. Took the grandkids out there a few years ago. Before.
5 miles back there and 5 miles back.
To actually show you where you could still, if you watch the old TV show, you could see the helicopter pad and there's groups had gone out there and they kind of, because it burned down. If you watch the last episode of MASH, they filmed that after the fire that they had at that time.
That was 20 years ago.
Probably more than that. think they celebrate their 50th anniversary, so it's probably close to 45 years ago. I don't know how many years it was on show, but I mean, that burned down then, and then it burned down again this last time. Now, I don't know about this time, but the time they had a fire last year or something that burned up that area again. Because there used to be a Paramount ranch there. And we've been out there and took a lot of pictures and stuff like that there. And I like to see stuff like that. It was a park, didn't cost you nothing to go to. And, but it was off of Mulholland Canyon Drive. And it was an old Western town. A lot of movies and stuff had been filmed out there and stuff. And I like stuff like that.
And all that, it was filmed out there.
And I like to see stuff like that. And that's part of my travel when I do stuff. We've been to Tombstone and we've been to a lot of different places. We're on a bike. But see, when we go to Sturgis and come home from Sturgis, it's a mission. You know, you're on a battle to get there. Then when you're on the way home, it's like, we want to get home. We're tired. You know, we got to get home. So that's my riding. More questions?
Yep.
How many people on?
38.
Oh, slow tonight.
Yeah.
Everybody watching football. We should have a good, if we have a video next Sunday, we should have a lot of people. There should be no football
there's no football next
Sunday. Be a freebie weekend.
Yeah.
But we'll have some videos come out during the week this week. Probably be stuff during the afternoon. We'll probably do a couple lives from the Mecum auction and see how that all works out. If I can walk around with my camera, I got a couple gimbals I brought, and if I can walk around with those,
Sure.
I still get a pretty good signal. We'll kind of walk through and talk about some of the bikes and stuff like that this year, and some of the stuff that's going on live versus waiting to see the video come out. And that way, if I do a live, I don't put a video on. That saves me editing plus the upload and all that crap. It took, for the 15-minute video last night, took probably, when I got up, it was midnight and it still had 40 or 50% to still go. I don't know what time I finally finished uploading.
And you finished it, what, like at 7 or 8 o'clock that night?
Yeah. So it's just, the internet really sucks. And we got rid of the one hotspot to try to save money. And so I'm not trying to use the phones yet. And we also have an AT&T or a T-Mobile hotspot. And right now I'm using the internet of the hotel. And so I didn't want to waste any of that in case we need to use it during some of these shows to show you stuff. Because
we still got, this is the last week in January and then we'll have February, right? Or is it month to month on the billing cycle?
I don't know what it is.
I don't know
how it works. I just know it keeps track. And so you only get, I think I got 100 gigs on it or something I can use. And usually I can get about a week's worth of videos out of it. But now we have been putting more longer videos out. And some people will watch, a lot of you are watching those 30-minute videos. And then we have other people that say, if I see a 30-minute video, I'm not even going to click on that sucker. So the one today, you got to go back and watch the bikes. The salesman that talked to us did a really great job. I was going to talk about that too. A couple of those paint jobs I like. I like that maroon bike. I really like to see that out in the sun. Because just in there, you could see it in the video. That it's kind of, you could see a little tone of the paint tone. I really do like that CVO. I like the black and the red and the white. I think that really looks sharp. I like that.
And it's got the carbon fiber pieces on it.
So as soon as we can get time to ride them, right now they're not putting out the new bikes yet for riding. We actually, when I was in Henderson, I asked the manager there, I said, do you have your demo truck? And he said, right now, they're not even issuing demo trucks. Are already, the events they've already got are already down. There's no dates available. He said, we're probably going to have to do our own demo day. And I said, well, if we're around, we'll come back and do it. I don't know, because by the time we get going here, if I get to Daytona, we can go down there. Yeah, so we can go to the demo truck there and do the ones in Daytona. And so that will get I'll ride some of the new ones there. Eagle Rider says they're supposed to let me still ride a bike for a day, which maybe they'll still do that. It would get warm, but I mean, I don't know if we'd have time on the Tuesday or Wednesday. If it gets warm enough in California, we could maybe do it after the show. But I don't know if they've got any 25s yet. And, because we went to the one on the strip here, they only had, 2 bikes?
Yeah.
2 or 3.
2. That was it.
New bikes. And then over at Henderson Harley, they're all owned by the same dealer. The Henderson Harley, they had 4 or 5 probably.
Yeah.
And then the ones we did yesterday was at Red Rock. So he probably had close to a dozen.
Yeah, he had a lot.
And
so they're in the top 10 dealerships of the United States.
Yeah, which is tough because the Verackans that own theirs, which we won't talk about, they didn't treat us very well years ago. So we don't recommend their dealerships that much.
There's a guy in Leelong that makes catch cans for the CVOs. I don't know what a catch can is.
I don't know either. But somebody was
Sounds
asking about
wrong.
if today on the question wanted to know if they changed the tour pack because it looked different. Well, they got rid of the speaker pods. Those are no longer available. So you can't get speaker pods on the Ultras no more. So they want you to put speakers in the lids. I just don't like the speakers in the lids just for the fact of traveling. If you're using luggage and stuff in there, you need every bit of room you can to put stuff in there. Now, granted, the new bikes, the bags are a little bit bigger, but I haven't put anything in one of those bikes yet, so I don't know how that fits. We're used to our bike because when we get, that's what I told her. I said, when we go back to Leesburg, we're living out of those bags again. We have the Rick Rack bag that we put on the back. We're going to see if we can get a hold of him and have him let me borrow one for those 3 rallies. And then
Give it back to him in Myrtle Beach.
yeah, and that way we don't have to ship that out there because we have a big duffel bag and we're going to take our helmets and all that gear and everything that we need. And then from there, I think, which I don't know, either I'm going to have the bag shipped home or I'm going to have the bag shipped to Myrtle Beach. I don't know because I can bring it back on the airplane. So I haven't figured out what I'm going to do with that yet because we're going to wear the helmets. We have helmets, we have boots, we have extra jackets. But camera gear and stuff, I don't bring as much. We bring this setup here. We bring, I don't bring a drone or anything with us because it's just as a room. I bring the one computer with me, and I bring the basic cameras that we have. That's all we bring. I don't bring any of the extra stuff because it's just as the room. Because you're
I
on the
think you
bike.
gotta bring the hard drives and all that stuff too,
Nope.
don't you?
I'm bringing the little ones that I have now. So I'm hoping we'll see how these go. These rallies go if I fill them up. I'm thinking on Sturgis, I'm gonna have to buy one more small one. And that should get me through Sturgis because we have hard drives now. We have the SSD ones that don't have trouble, which even one of my big hard drives I bought, we drug around last year, it's already clicking. And I'm kind of worried about it.
Well, I would download it now.
That's another $300 I need to buy a hard drive for.
It's better than losing it all, isn't it?
Now, what I really want to do is really the most important thing to me is all my videos. So I'm really thinking about getting a hard drive and putting all my videos in one hard drive because that's really what I go looking for most of the time. Because if I do a highlight video of a highlight of a highlight, I get a bunch of videos. Like I put a couple out about Daytona and stuff. I go back and find those. Now we did a video the other day that I couldn't find. Oh, when I did the one for all about customs to show the air ride and all that, one of them I couldn't find my handlebars. I couldn't find the video for it, but I found the footage. So I had to take the footage. I had to remake it again. And it wasn't as good because I didn't use her camera a second shot. Because it wasn't the whole video. It's a 30-minute video to put the handlebars on. The whole video was only 30 minutes and it showed you putting air ride shocks on. It showed you putting handlebars on and showed, what else did it show? What else does he do? Fat tire on all 3 of those. So we want to do that. So we're trying to make sure that we try to get some videos out here for our sponsors. So you know what they do if you want. The only one I've got bad trouble with is Ben, which is
Wide Open Customs.
that he makes the
The
fairings.
removable fairings.
Yeah, he makes all those and puts the radios in them, and you can put them on almost any kind of Harley, and that's the way to go. And then their bet, my buddy Art paid what they're charging now. He paid 20 years ago for them and got screwed by somebody else for it. So Ben didn't do a great job, but that's when I lost all my hard drives in Sturgis.
This year.
And so when we went and seen him in Bikes, Booze, and Barbecue, he had a really bad cold and he couldn't talk. And so he couldn't do a video. So I don't have any footage for him until we get to Daytona.
I know those kids are much better at the computer stuff than we are, aren't they, Jeff?
So
Says he needs to get his kid to help you with it.
I don't know. So we'll see how all that goes. And so we're trying to get some highlight stuff, but that's why you see the logo. I can't put him on this, but you'll see Camp Easy Ride. You're going to see a logo all through our videos now. He's our largest contributor for helping us do rallies. And that's one of the things he said. He said, if you put my logo on your videos, I'll take the top one you got. And I'm like, why not? So I did it the other day on the video today, but it's kind of bigger. I'm going to make it smaller. It doesn't need to be that big. But see, on doing a live, I can't put only my logo on it. I can take it off and put his logo up here, but I don't know if that would confuse people or not. I can't put it on here, like down here in this corner. I can't put it because it doesn't allow it on the software. This isn't editable.
YouTube.
Yeah.
This is.
I can download this and I can re-edit it and put it in there, but not and I'm not going to go, that's too much work. So I told him the other day, I can put it on regular videos, and he's like, that's fine. And so we're not going to always say something that it's Camp Easy Ride. But that's why we put that at the rolling. If you watch the video yesterday, at the end, you see all of our sponsors. And those are the people that are paying or helping us get to the rallies, like Kathmandu. They put us up there for 5 weeks on their property.
Yeah.
That's worth
A lot of money.
$3,000 to $5,000. So it's not giving us any cash. Right now, which we haven't
It
talked
helps
to,
us out a great deal.
we haven't talked to Whole Bikes yet, but they just gave me $1,250 worth of transporting my bike. So that's that. They haven't given us cash yet, but everybody else that's on that list that rolls up there is giving us some type of money, anywhere from $1,000 to $2,500. And that's what's helping us get to these rallies. So they're paying for the air flights that we're getting. So when I book the airline, I can take that money they gave me and pay the credit card. So that way we're not in debt. Because this channel, we have probably spent
A lot of money.
probably close somewhere between $25,000 and $50,000 to do this. And that came out of our retirement money, and it may even be more than that. I don't know. We never really kept track because you bought up equipment. Typically, you don't make a lot of money on YouTube, and this year I'm still working on the taxes. I brought them with me. I'm still going through and getting stuff. So I got to get all my W-2 forms and 1099s and all that stuff, because the money I get from YouTube, got to pay tax on. The money I get from Patreon, I got to pay tax on. Venmo money, I got to pay tax on that. Some of the money we got was cash, and we haven't deposited it yet because I wanted to come in this year when we're paying the bills. So I didn't want to go. So it's actually in an envelope in the safe at the hotel. So when we go to California, we're going to be able to put it in the bank, and then they'll be there to pay the bills. Some of them paid this through Venmo, so the money went right into the account. And so I have one checking account that it's just YouTube money, or it's just Bob and Tam money. Then we have another account that's the vet's money. Then we have another account that's our money. You know,
I was gonna say, that's the smallest one.
and so we've cut back on a lot of stuff. We got rid of.
Jeff says he'll email him and tell him thank you for us.
There you go. And so like I say, that's why I say, if you're at one of the rallies, and even if it's not one of our sponsors, you should tell them that, hey, I seen you, I'm here buying from Rick Rack, or I'm buying from JP Cycles, or whatever. If it wasn't for Bob and Tam, I wouldn't even know who you people were, because those are people that are still haven't decided if they want to sponsor us or not. So we'll have to see, because I want to add Galveston to this year, but we haven't got all the money yet. We still got two people that still got to pay us. One's going to pay us in Daytona. As soon as the rally's over, he's going to give us the cash then. And then the other one is going to pay. We also offered a monthly deal. He said, well, we'll probably go a monthly, but if everything goes really good, I'll just pay you off. And everybody else just paid us right then. So they either wrote us a check to their business account, or they gave us the cash. So we got that. Most of the money we've already got. And so that's why we already bought the airline tickets for Daytona both ways. For the Daytona Bike Week, back and forth. The hotel's already taken care of in Daytona. And then the airline ticket to Leesburg is already paid for. And then the tickets that we just got for Myrtle Beach to go to our daughter's place, that's halfway back, that's paid for. And then the hotels, I just have a deposit on right now. I still got to pay all the other hotels yet. Panama City Hotel and Daytona Hotel. Haven't paid that. Oh, somebody give us some money.
Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff. We
A super
appreciate that.
sticker. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
We appreciate that, Jeff. And Jeff should be with. I put Jeff on my,
Yeah, I
my
know,
list
we
of
should
people.
put him on our sponsor list.
Sponsorship list. He might be getting close to that $1,000 mark by
He's
now.
Probably pretty darn close.
And so we've had a couple other vendors that have given us a little
Gas
bit of
money.
money and stuff to help out. And over this whole time that we've been doing this, someone will give us a couple $100 and just say, go have dinner on us. We appreciate the work you've sent us and stuff like that. And we appreciated all that, because we really didn't want sponsorships, but the sponsorships that I ended up having now, I'm okay with. And you might say, why are you okay now and then you weren't before? Well, the difference is we know these people. If somebody came up to me today, there's actually another stereo company that's interested in us. And there's one stereo company I've been really
Trying to get.
yeah, because they act like they wanted to be a sponsor. And I'd rather do them because I know them better. I know they do great work. A bunch of you have been to this place already, but they haven't decided to go with us yet.
Thanks, man.
So we're getting to the point where we want to give you good content, but we're going to be loyal to our sponsors. Those are the people that are giving us money. Those are the Twisted Tea. Those are people that are giving us stuff that is helping us get to these rallies. The other ones, maybe they buy us dinner, but that didn't help us get here. So we're going to have to start spending more time with our vendors that sponsor us and not so much with vendors that don't sponsor us, if you can understand that. But it's all the vendors that we have on our list that come up there. We've done business with all of them. The only exception to the rule is Hall Bikes. But Hall Bikes is the Buffalo Chip. When they send their bikes out to the shows and all that, that's who they use. Billy Lane, all these different people,
Well, make them auction.
that's the only people that they use. You know, you can come in there and haul your own bike in the Mecum auction and take it out. But 90% of the people that are buying the bikes, well, probably not that many, probably 80% of them. We'll ask them when we get there what the percentage of bikes that they're hauling out. And if there's nothing else, they take them to, they may take it just to the warehouse and hold it. There's a fee to hold it there. It's probably not that bad. I think it's like $10 a day or something to put your bike in the warehouse until you could either come to Vegas and pick it up or figure out how you want your own shipper to pick it up or whatever you want to do. But
That's what we tried to tell them. We were coming up here. We thought we could.
I could write it up.
And we just bring it here and have it in the warehouse and then.
I think they were afraid of maybe it'd get mixed in with all the other bikes. Because now after I figured out today, I think most of the bikes they're bringing over here are in the warehouse in Vegas. So they've had probably 1,500 of the bikes are probably in their warehouse that they're hauling back and forth here. To where if my bike would have got in there, it might have got pushed aside and might have got lost.
Mixed up with and shuffled.
It may
Might
not,
have went off across the auction floor.
it may not have gotten to Daytona when we need it there, because if I don't have a bike, I'm kind of screwed. You just can't get into a lot of places and you got to park so far away, and she can't walk that far. So if we can't get into those places and down, like if you want to park downtown, you got to pay to park a car, you know, $15-20 every night to park down there. Whereas bike, we've only paid once or twice. We paid that $5 or $7, whatever that lot is there. Most of the time we've always been able to park right on Main Street. And so we have one person we're going to talk to. If worse comes to worse, that maybe he'd loan me a bike. That's Heavy Ed there at Midwest Cycles. He does the rental of bikes, and he's been wanting to do something with us, but we've had I didn't fulfill my agreement to call him at the time. He wanted me to call him because we thought Eagle Rider was going to take care of us, and they threw us under the bus and didn't turn out. So not saying anything bad about him. It's just, once again, it's one of the things that I don't really like to deal with is I don't like to deal with marketing people. I like to deal with either the owner or somebody the owner has said, take care of them, you know, and then I'm okay with it. But it's like when we talk to all the vendors we talk to, all of our vendors we talk to, like we go to JP Cycles down in Daytona, we talk to John. He's the head guy down there. He's going to make the last decision on whatever he says. So if I ask him something, it's like today, I go to haul bikes and a couple of guys, I was filming the back of the truck where they're taking bikes. You can't film us filming, taking bikes out. I said, do you know so-and-so? And they're like, yeah. She's like, I don't know what she is.
She told me last year
Like
she was top
COO
dog
or something of the company. And she's like, he says, yeah. I said, well, we're filming for her. She knows we're doing this. She says, oh, okay, that's fine. No problem then. Because I had the right name to throw out. And we got a phone number for us come to worse. But that's what we like. You know, we've got the right people to talk to when we do stuff. Now, Mecum's a little different. It's the marketing guy we have to deal with there. And also when we do SEMA, we're dealing with the marketing people there. But their marketing people are set up for the media. So they're good with it. But because a lot of times we go to these dealerships and stuff, they give us these little bubbly girls that are, hi, I got big boobies. I got beer. Come see me. We're having a bike show this weekend. Isn't that about what they do? And then when I say, how long has the dealership been in business? What? How long has the dealership been in business? Well, we opened at 9. No. When did they officially buy this dealership? I don't know. Do the owners ever come in? I don't know. Do you know who the owners are? I'm looking up on my phone. I ain't got time for you.
So Ron wants to know how tall you are.
I used to be 5'11", but I think I'm about 5'10" now.
We're shrinking. We're getting to that age where we're starting to shrink.
I lost about
Jeff's
12
watching.
pounds. I'm not down to what I wanted to be.
Oh, and he says he's about as tall as you are. You think Neil's taller than you or shorter than
I think
you?
Neil's taller than me.
That's what I thought. Neil said he's a,
I don't know. I never stood right up next to Neil, but I always thought you were a little taller.
that's what I would have said. I don't know. I guess I never stood you guys back to back.
My grandkids are getting bigger than me, though. Taller than me.
Well, all 3 of the 4 are probably close to 6 foot.
Yeah. And their dads ain't that big. Well,
I think James and Tad are both about 6 foot, so they're as tall as their dads.
well, the boys are most taller than
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Because Liam's, I think, is taller than Tad.
Liam's like 6'2", I think. He's tall.
I don't know where he got his height.
I don't know.
Talked to my daughter about that.
So Rowan said, so you're a shorty.
Used to be almost 6 foot.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
was like 5'11" and a half or something, 3/4. He was almost 6 foot. Oh, gravity. Steven says. We should put Steven on our list. He's gonna let us stay with him. He's on our
Because
sponsor.
we have a couple of that, like Big Trail Harveys on there, and they give us the bike to ride. The Cat House, they pay for the place we stay during Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. They also are giving us that bike that we're going to be, which I talked about at the beginning of this. We're going to give away a Softail. I have some more information soon. It's going to get a custom paint job on it and everything. And we're going to give that away to a vet. You know, you have to, details will come out of that here pretty quick because this already happens.
Yeah, in a couple of weeks. I didn't have them on. I'll have to put them down. Well, see, she's up there, but not here. How come?
Right.
I don't know. I see the 2 up there, but she's
It
not
hasn't
coming up
refreshed
there.
yet. Is it still going? Is it frozen?
No? You're showing you,
Yeah. Just checking to see if I was still moving there.
and that's the delay. Is that delayed? No.
No, we're not delayed. That's live.
This one's
That's
delayed.
the
Yeah.
YouTube. See, I just raised my hand up.
I don't know where they're at. Oh, now they all popped up.
Because you just getting a signal on it. 'Cause this is live.
Thanks.
It's
We'll have to
live.
check
It's
that out.
memories.
Sergio. So how tall are you, Neil? It's a family channel. That's right. Okay. I was 6 foot back in a car accident, made me 5'11", but now I'm about 5'10".
My problem is back when I was young and stupid, I used to jump off bridges and all that onto dry ground. And that probably didn't do a whole lot for my health.
Steven says he's got good internet.
There you go.
That's what we need.
Well, at home now, we've got good internet. We got like 50 or 60 going up. I need the speed going up, not speed coming down. And if you even 25 going up is still good. But it's when we get this here, it's like 5 and less. And last time when I looked at it, it was like 2.5. And I went to go look at the phone and it was about the same. And I'm like, well, I'll just stick with what I got. I hope it's, and I got up before this came out and made sure that it was done. So, because if not, I need to change the time. Because we're coming out with earlier times because the new not software, but the new program that I'm using right now that keeps track. It helps you with your YouTube channel.
It was like TubeBuddy, but it's not. I don't know
Yeah,
what the
it's a
name
lot
of it
better
is
than
now.
TubeBuddy. Video IQ. And but it helps you make thumbnails and so far the thumbnails is getting more views. What was funny is I ought to post one of these thumbnails it makes. It makes a stupid AI one, and the guy's riding backwards on the bike. You see his back of his jacket, and his head's facing the other way, and he's going down the highway. I need to post that on a video just to see how many people catch that guy going backwards. And
Well, we used to have trestles a lot where we lived. The railroad trestles. Those are Jamie O says, can you expand on jumping off bridges or off roofs? You know, you're up there on the roof, the ball
Two-story
gets on
roof.
the roof,
yeah,
and you
two-story roof.
climb up there to get the ball off the
Instead of going
roof.
down the ladder, just jump off. Land on my feet.
Stupid and crazy. He's part cat.
Now I can't even go up a ladder anymore. I'm afraid I'm gonna fall off.
Now his ankles go out, his knees go out. Then forget about going up a flight of steps.
When you can't even do that at all.
I can't.
I have to get either pusher or puller, one of the two.
I can't even go up a
A ramp.
small incline. It's like, oh, I can really feel it. I don't know. Don't get old. That's what people always told me that, but they never told me how to stop it. Once I have the compensation, I'll be able to sort out a bike for you guys pretty easily, being roughly about the same height. There you go. Jeff had an umbrella in your drink. Gee, I wonder why. Yeah, I wonder why too. Well, that, and he worked on cars for years and years and years in the Midwest, so it's cold, and he was always bent over or kneeling on concrete or,
We used to throw a shop towel down. That's what you kneeled on. And laid on my back on the ground and I'll hang over the hood all the time. And with these guys now, they got these things you can build that you can sit in, which I did. When I used to work on pickup trucks, I would sit in the hood. I used to be that, I weighed $1.25. So I could climb up in there and get down inside the engine. And if I was pulling the heads off or the intake or carburetor or whatever, I'd sit right in there and do all the work right there. Where if it's a car, the worst car I've ever worked on was a Shelby Cobra. It was like a 69. You had to, we put a new motor in the guy's car, made the bad mistake of not putting the spark plugs in before you dropped the motor in, because you had to take the master cylinder booster off and we had to jack the motor halfway up to get the other side out. What a nightmare that thing was. And we never worked on one of them. Corvettes weren't quite as bad. Corvette, you just got to pull the hood off and take the radiator out, work on that damn thing. The older ones. I don't know what the new ones are like.
yep, 5 minutes.
5 minutes left and we'll be wrapping up the show today. We really wouldn't want to go too long tonight anyway, but
2 hours is up.
everybody's been asking questions and we had a few stories to tell. So how's the microphone sounding? We've got a wholly different microphone today. I think I found out what happened to the other one. I think one of the wires was off of the one because it came apart. When I was looking at it, one of the wires was off. So that might have been part of the problem why it's been sounding so crappy before. So this is one of my better, this is a boom mic that's on here. And I set the decibels up 20 so we wouldn't have to yell, because we didn't know if there's going to be anybody else in this room, which there's been some people come and go, but nothing. So we didn't want to have to talk real loud. So it's up pretty high. And
Neil
so
says outstanding sound.
that's great. We appreciate that.
Jeff says great live. Sounds good. Sounds good, mate.
There you go.
From Rowan.
There you go. And so we appreciate everybody.
Rowan
watching.
says when we get down there to Australia, he'll show us some coast riding.
There you go. Well, see, also the coast is too is some of the places to stop and see. Like I'd really like to do, which I don't know if we'll have enough money to do it, but eventually we're going to get to Hawaii here in the next year, hopefully. And we go over there. I'd love to rent a bike and do some riding there for a couple of days, but I just don't know if it'll be what the price. Renting bikes now are crazy, and it's just like where we're staying here at.
Well, one of those is a Big Whoop that's over there in Hawaii. Maybe they can find us a friend that has an extra bike we can borrow. So they all say the sound is great.
Appreciate that. And it's something new we tried out. I've never used this on a live before. I usually use this microphone, like when we had the Mecum auction, when I put up my camera on a tripod, I'll use this boom mic. And we've been actually using this boom mic on some of the videos we're doing in the garage, the bar. So we put it on a boom stick and it hangs down over. You don't see it. Kind of like they do in TV shows. And so the sound's been a lot better. And so versus putting the lapel mics on. And so we're just trying to see how this sounds and if it works pretty good. And
so we got our camera. This is big. And then we got this big boom mic on top of it. It looks a little funny, but it works, I guess.
It's like Jimmy Durante's nose.
Yeah. Did I tell you my grandpa knew him?
I don't know, maybe.
My dad's dad. He had a picture of him and him together. They were down in St. Louis singing somewhere.
Don't know. Maybe not.
Anyway.
Oh, I'm getting tired now.
Yeah.
All right. I'll wrap her up.
So thanks for hanging out with us tonight. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with us. We enjoy hanging out with you guys. We love you all. We thank you for your support. Don't forget to support our subscribers, our
supporters,
our sponsors. There you go. That word. I'm tired too. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share us with your family and friends. Give us a big thumbs up. Ring that bell for notifications, and we'll see y'all on the next video.
Yep, and be looking starting on Wednesday through Saturday. Look for lives. They could come out as early as.
I'll look for it.
Well, if it comes out here at noon, 11 or noon, then that's going to be noon? Be 1, 2, could be 2 o'clock on the East Coast. So kind of be looking around. I know we've done some noon videos and we get a lot of people on because
Yeah.
I guess they're at work and stuff. They check in for a little bit, and most of them won't be very long videos, probably only be 30-minute videos because we won't have a lot of
Ideal.
time, and depending on the internet and the phones, try to keep them charged up and all that kind of stuff.
Fit wine.
So be looking for that
Jamie.
this week and next week too. When we get to the show, Sunday next week will actually be in a different place. They don't have a area like this at the next hotel because that's the one we're staying at, the other Tahiti place next Saturday night and Sunday night. Because on Monday we go to Westgate. So you can check all that out. And so I'll be constantly looking for lives. Next Sunday, I don't know where we'll do a live from, but I will try to do something unless we're just tired and say the heck with it, and we'll tell you that. But
We'll do a short and tell you that.
so that we'll go ahead and leave you right here, and appreciate all of you. And couldn't have a channel without you.
That's right. We appreciate all of you guys, and we'll see you
You're
soon.
like our long distance extended family we have all over the world. I can't
Yeah.
just say in the U.S. because we got people all over the world.
We do, and it's great to see all you guys too. Just as ring my bell. There's Glasgow, Las Vegas. That's right. Are you out here? If you're out here, let us know. All righty. We'll see ya.